Oh, yeah, we're live. We're good. Just in time. What do I say? I forgot that I scheduled this in for 6:30. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank. I got lost. I was doing side stuff on the first planet, and I forgot that I set this for the warm up at 6:30, so we'd be a little bit ahead of time. But the event hasn't started yet, so we're live. Give me one sec. We're here. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. Oh, sorry. I'm really sorry. We're here. It's all good. We're all good. Hey. 2 minutes early. We did it. I'm so sorry. Oh, the stream's actually in 60? I thought it'd just be 30. Sorry. It'll still look fine. Thank you anyone that joined me. DJD in the chat. We got Thomas in the chat. Michael Myers in the chat. Sass, hi, how's it going? Vegan VR King, how you going? We got the Hunter in the chat. How you doing, man? Angel on the Modern Duty. It's good to have you with us on that. Really One Gamer as well. Goran in the chat at one point. Chad in the chat at one point. Well, we're here. We're here. Jeffrey, how you doing? We're here. In time. Perfectly in time. Not late by 15 minutes at all. I wasn't just taking photos in Rift Apart. That's not what was... I was literally just doing stuff that I thought the stream wouldn't want to see. Like just doing some side quest stuff. That game's in depth. I will say that. That game's definitely more in depth than I thought. I'm kind of thinking I might even push towards the plat for it. So let's get in here. Whew. Just in time. Come on, guys. You gotta remember I streamed for like 9 hours yesterday, and one of those took me well into 3 a.m. I'm a little bit all over the place, but I've got the schedule worked out for the next couple of days. Luckily, this is like the only thing really on today as well. So I think we might even get some Sifu in this. I heard someone mentioned earlier, but let's see what they've got to show us. Show begins in 15. I'm perfectly on time. I'm perfectly on time. Look at that. The show begins. So there's loads, some additional Ratchet. Should I play a tiny bit more Ratchet? Should I show you some photos from Ratchet? I can't believe they did this and then they have a countdown for an extra 15 minutes. This is again technically an official co-stream of the Summer Game Fest. So that's cool. Gene, how you doing? Just seen an RTX 3070 for 5K. Jeez Louise is all I'm going to say about that. But we're here, we made it. More Ratchet, please. I'm streaming Ratchet later on. I don't know how long this is going for, so I put in Ratchet for 8:30, which is like hopefully enough time. But I can probably show you like a couple photos that I got, as long as no one wants. I don't think they're like spoilers, but there's still. I know some people might get mad. Not mad, but how do I do this? I can just close that. Oh, we're here. Yeah, just some. I'll just show you the couple photos that I got. How about that? And maybe I'll just show you photo mode if people wanna see photo mode in general. How about that? How about I just show you some photo mode? While we wait 13 minutes. I'm looking at this screen because I'm gonna have it on my secondary monitor over here. Made a little bit more progress. I've now got it so it can run in the correct. I can run it in 60 now. 60 with the ray tracing, which is really cool. They fixed some things. Wow, that load. It might look a okay. It might look a little bit off, but we got a little critter over here. Actually, I can put it in fidelity mode for a second as well. I just have to remember that when I start earlier. I just do that and go back. Yeah, that's fine. We got 12 minutes till the show starts. So we got a little critter here. I'm gonna try to do my best to sneak up on it. Try to do my best to sneak up on it here. Very slowly, slowly. Slowly. Slowly does it. Oh! We're good? We're good. How did I fix it? Okay, so to explain how I fixed it is... oh god. Okay. So apparently, when you run this game with HDR off, what it does is try to load it in 100, like there's a miscommunication where it tries to load it in 120 FPS for some reason. And because it was giving that output, that is what was actually going wrong with, that's what was going wrong with my monitor, because obviously my monitor can't run. It can run 60 FPS, no problem, but what it can't do is run. Look at that, man. Is what it can't actually run 120 FPS. So that was obviously causing a problem. Some of my favorite stuff in photo mode already is literally. So you got the facial expression, so you can do a whole array of just cutesy. Like, they've made Rivet 100% adorable. Like, if you could have a pet like Rivet that just, like, lived in your house and bust joke with you, like, then yeah, that would... if my cat could be Rivet, I'd be so happy, you know? But then you can also change the rotation, right, which I think is awesome. So you can really make sure that you get that angle that you want on the photo, regardless of where you are. Then obviously you've got a whole array of different poses that you can do. You can throw in the weapons you have. No, as an actual pet. Like, you know how people have helper monkeys? I'd want to help a Rivet. You know? But then one of the features I found when I was messing around in photo mode that I think is really cool is while you can actually do these... we got 9 minutes till the show, by the way. While you can actually do, like, add your own lights, you can actually take control of the natural light as well. So as you can see in the background, like you can make the sky dark. You can change its positioning, sort of like a time of the day kind of thing. Like that. Which is really cool as well. Like really get a nice array of different angling. And then same again with the rotation itself. Like that, so then you can actually change so much of the just natural lighting, which again is like an overall huge improvement, I think. Then of course you got the stickers, but you also have in your normal photo settings like a great selection of frames. Like again, like you know in Miles Morales you had some really cool framing. You've got that all again. You've got an array of ones that show you like different planet locations and things. But then you also just have these kind of like straight out of Miles Morales like cartoon-esque ones like that. Like that's really cool. You can do that. The filters are so impressive on top as well. Like, look, 8-bit. All of these sort of just... like, such an array of different filters that you can actually put on. And all of these, like, it's crazy that it can just throw these effects on in real time. And the array, like, you have so much of them, which is really interesting to me. So, like, especially if you go with, like, Noir and bring that down, then you get, like, just a nice little soft tone on it all. Then, obviously, you've got all of your classics, like, you got your field of view, your exposure, things like that. You know, you've got 2 types of aperture as well, so you can really mess with your sort of, if you want your blurred background or anything like that. And then, of course, you can just decide if you want to have the hero on and all of that. Like, so, really powerful operations with the photo mode. Yeah, it's super similar to the Spider-Man one. They've definitely added in a little bit more, and it just gives you a chance to sort of really get a look at the overall detail in this game. You know? Like, just so well done and so well handled. I don't have loads of photos, but these are some of the ones I've taken. Okay, apparently I've got some achievements. Like, I've taken, like, taken Rivet around her home planet to just display some of the different monsters and such that you'll find on her home planet. She's really quite happy, like, she's being tour guide Rivet, you know? She's just like, this is where I live. Here's my... these are some of the dinosaurs you can find around here. Got an achievement for turning on the TV if anyone wants to get a free, super easy achievement. This is a really great shot as well. Took this in a different location. I mean, just look at that. You know, just look at that. We've got just over 5 minutes until the show actually starts here. But yeah, I mean, the quality... I took 2. Actually, they hand out trophies in this game. I didn't realize. So those are my photos in recent times. Okay, cancel. Don't forget you've... Cribs with Rivet, exactly. Don't forget that you should have, on top of it all, you've also got Ratchet, who looks very good. Like, just looks so awesome in so much of the game. Like, even though he's just chilling on the back, you know? The quality. The array of just, like, variation that I've seen so far, and I've only played the game for a couple hours, is really impressive. Look at that guy, man. Look at him. And then obviously you've got, like, oh, you can do some classics. Did I say Clank? My bad, guys. I'm not running on great sleep here today. My brain is absolutely fried. But then again, like, it's just nuts to me. Like, even, like, he's slightly transparent. Clank just chilling. There we go. That's what I meant to. Look, he looks sad now. You made him sad. I made him sad because I didn't call him correctly. But yeah, just the array. Look at that. His spit or whatever the hell that is still in normal, but him himself, 100% pixelated. And obviously we got some of the weapons that you've seen. I don't think I've got any weapons that people So no rage today. No, I'm in a good mood. I'm knackered. Like, I'm really knackered. Show begins in 2 minutes. Just enough time to get this guy killed. You think that's reflection? No, the tree was behind. Whoa. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, the big tree. The big tree. Even better. Ow. Begins in 2. And yeah, I should avoid looking over at the other screen. Right. Playing this on a tiny screen is an interesting experience. It still looks great. Just over 2 minutes. Well, we got an array of different guns. You've obviously got that dash as well, which looks really cool. This reminds me of Returnal, having the burst pistol like this. Anyway, I killed him. Cut that way too close, but there you go. You get all of this. It's a bit stuttery today. Oh no, it's because I'm playing it in fidelity mode. That's why. And I've been playing it in 60 FPS all day, so everything feels a little bit off. But there we go. We got 1 minute 30 till the show goes. That was just a little display of what's been going on. You know. I actually need to turn this off before I There you go. Boom. Turn the audio back on. We're back. There we go. How many hours do I have? All of the weapons that I have, I bought on stream yesterday after playing 2 and a half hours roughly, and now I have something like 17,000 nuts and bolts that I need to spend at the start of the stream this evening, and I will be running it in the ray traced performance mode this evening, so we'll be moving into the 60 now that I've got the settings worked out and that my monitor doesn't think it's running in 120 FPS, you know. So yeah, should be all good. Should be a fun stream. Hopefully I get some energy up. Not energy, but you know, I'm a little bit run ragged, man. I've done a lot of streams in the past 2 days, and I know it's like, how can streaming be draining? Well, it's like, firstly, when you play games sometimes, they really drain your adrenaline. Secondly, I was up till 3 AM playing them, you know? And then thirdly, like, being on to a degree and trying to engage with so much people can be quite mentally draining in its own way. But I love doing it. I'm not going to complain. It's a big week. I knew it was coming. Oh shit! What, Frodo?
Fantasy, terror, and wonder.
Not just a member of the audience, but an active participant.
They are stories that are shaped not only by the visions of their creators,
but by the choices you make as they unfold.
They are changed by you.
Alright, let's do this.
You were changed by them.
This year, for the first time, Tribeca has selected 8 games.
We hope they offer you a brief glimpse into the ingenuity and artistic scope.
That games have
The pizza was great, by the way, Thomas.
They
It
belong
was
at the
actually
forefront
awesome.
of our conversations about storytelling.
Both now and in the future.
We can't wait for you to play them.
Horror stories are often about seeing our deepest
Del
fears
Toro?
and anxieties made real.
What's
in the
up, my
form of
G?
Ghosts, ghouls, and demons. But in the survival horror game Signalis, the true horror lies not in the shambling monsters you find lurking in a subterranean bunker or an alien planet, but in what lies beyond the limits of human comprehension. Revelations so dreadfully that it can shatter the mind. This is the cosmic horror of Signalis.
What a legendary director, writer. Everything. 100% really one gamer. Del Toro is absolutely legendary. Pan's Labyrinth, etc., etc. He's on a different level, man. He's on a different level. Super indie looking game though. This is a German title? Yeah, he did say Ang the Last Bender, which is hilarious. Because Bender is like, it's kind of like, I don't know if people ever use Bender anymore, but Bender's like a rude way of saying a homosexual person. So the fact that he called Ang the Last Bender, like the last homo in the world, was just a little bit like, alright Jeff, calm down. Or if you're looking at it the other way, the last bender, like people call like going out on a pub crawl like a bender, like a long night out is a bender as well. So the last bender also works in that way, both like British slang. So the fact that he called it the last bender, either way, was just a hilarious slip up yesterday. Fear Effect remake, PS2 Pro Gamer. What a name. Also, we got Dark Lord Creeper in the chat. How's it going? Signalis.
Kena Bridge of Spirits is a rich, compelling tale of fantasy and adventure with themes of trauma and loss of forgiveness. And yes, it's full of fast-paced action and breathless battles with supernatural foes, but the first thing that hits you when you see it is the beauty of a debut game from a small but passionate team at Ember Labs, and how the stunning animation of its lush, magical world pulls you into a journey of a spirit guide trying to save a village haunted by restless souls. But why not let you see it for yourself? Here's our next official selection, Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Let's go, baby! It's time! Abdul, how you doing? That's right.
Ground yourself.
This is why I'm here.
Feel the energy of the mountain. Draw on its power.
So cool.
Ember Labs is a really small studio. We have a background in film and animation. We got our start doing visual effects for films. And then from there we grew into doing a lot of animated work for commercials. In between commercial projects, we would always siphon off some time to learn new things and be a little creative.
I'm liking the way they put this together.
And over time, we decided that wow, we have a real passion for games, and we wanted to throw our hat into the ring with our first project, Kena.
Something tells me you did not come to our village looking for forest creatures.
That's why the animation looks so good in this.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the Sacred Mountain Shrine.
We've been playing games our whole lives together as brothers, and the action adventure games are sort of what we play together and we also enjoy. Yeah. We kind of had this idea of
the rot being a kind of a force of nature that was maybe working against you. It was kind of the enemy initially. And then I kind of had the thought to flip it, where the rot become your companions. And that's when we kind of like found that we had something kind of unique.
You turn the rot into your friends. That's so cool.
Opened up a lot of cool mechanics, especially with the puzzles in the game.
Puzzles? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay, okay. The rot is when I turn a troll into someone and watches my stream.
You can tell.
That's how it goes
complete
sometimes.
Control of what they're seeing, when they're seeing it, how they're seeing it. In games, all that goes out the window. So communicating ideas or themes to the player is a lot more difficult, we found.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I mean, this looks bloody beautiful, doesn't it? Oh, no.
You have to be really sort of crafty in how you're getting communication to the player, especially when it's trying to do it through gameplay and not just like always through cutscene.
One of Tara's memories. I should see where it leads me.
We love creating immersive experiences, and we try to really think about atmosphere
I like it.
and tone a lot when we're on the game development side. The storytelling and atmosphere is a big part of our traditional medium in terms of film aesthetics.
Right, yeah, of course. Work with what you got.
Just having the world be something that you want to sit down and explore and be a part of was a goal of ours from the beginning.
Well, it looks like you've done it, to be... Oh, my God.
Having a nice team of really great animators who have worked together, I think was paramount in terms of pulling off some of the storytelling we wanted to do with the game. We're actually making like a 45-minute animated movie inside of a game.
Hi.
We're really proud of the team. A lot of them come from the visual effects and animation background and kind of like converted their skill sets from the film and animation background into developers on the game side.
During the process of making the game, we also were introduced to a musical group called Tsudomani. And we actually, Jason and myself went over to Bali to do recording for the soundtrack.
Hey!
One of the things that's grown out of that relationship is Dewa is the composer, but his daughter Ayu is actually the voice of Kana.
My name's Kana.
Oh,
what are you two
that's
doing
cool.
here?
She's never done any voice acting, but she fit right in.
It's okay. You have to go now.
We wanted to make a game that would just excite us if we saw it. Something that we would see the trailer. Oh yeah, that game looks awesome. Yeah. So as difficult as it has been, it's also very rewarding because it's like something that we would be very proud of. Yeah. Something that we would want to pick up ourselves.
You must move on.
The path of a spirit guide is a lonely one.
I hope everybody buys that. Oh shit, what's up, Norman Reedus? How are you doing?
Magical realism with dark tales of decay in the American South. Norco adds a dash of sci-fi to the Southern Gothic stew, weaving cyborgs and artificial intelligence into pixelated Louisiana landscapes, where the sun sets heavy and orange over the swamps, and oil refineries blaze like torches in the night. It is a place where people, memories, and secrets have a way of getting lost and buried. Dig them up if you dare, in the haunting and extraordinary adventure that is Norco.
Tribeca bought out everybody. They got better features than Norman Reedus' head. That painting says a lot. Almost everything that's
Geography of Robots is a handful of devs, artists, and musicians making output that is largely centered around the American South and the psychogeography of the American South.
Is this what South of America looks like? You should set up your camera like his.
Our first release is a game called Norco, which is about my hometown of Norco, Louisiana.
Just be this.
A small, very industrialized town about 25 miles upriver from New Orleans.
Kena does not look like a PS2 game.
There's so many
like,
intersecting
it does
pieces
not.
of
Especially for a small studio, it doesn't at all.
So many stories embedded in the landscape.
I love that they just went out and got a bunch of
fascinated with
drone
that
and such
region
footage
since I was a kid.
You know?
I wanted to synthesize all of those research interests into something, and Norco is that culmination of effort.
This gives me the slightest like Disco Elysium vibes. The slightest. Don't nobody let Kid Smooth know about this game. He won't read any of it.
Reality and certain sci-fi tropes.
You run your hands along the deteriorating contours of the statue.
To explore little air pockets of
snaps off as if
surreal
by design
within the reality of the game.
Behind the statue's faces hides an assemblage of electronics carelessly
The
sorted
primary
together.
benefit that we have working in this sort of adventure game point-and-click genre is that we've got just decades and decades of iteration to build on within this genre, going back to the old Lucas games, you know, Monkey Island and such. What works for our story? What are the necessary mechanics to tell the story of Norco?
Oh shit, this is the fight? Just out here fighting. Fighting some trailer trash?
Interrogating a lot of events and experiences from the past. I was
Where you got beat up by a dude in a
games
wife
at the time.
beater and
a lot
a
of
big
traumatic
beard.
events that occurred both in my personal life and the life of the region that I was exploring, and I thought there was a kind of hauntological element to using pixel art to tell those stories.
Hauntological. I want to add that to my vocabulary.
And so doing a simple 2D pixel art game fit the best within my limited resources that I had.
This looks like it should have been on the Day of the Dev stuff. Which, by the way, had some really interesting things in.
In the more recent years, big and small studios have really been pushing like what it means for player agency to take a front seat in a semi-linear narrative.
Right. Yeah, it is a little bit Disco Elysium. It's like the deadbeat dad in Detroit. It does.
It has been an interesting journey, pushing the boundaries of the medium and kind of forcing it into this more complex, uncomfortable future.
I can 100% tell that a dude who looked like that would make a game like this. He's channeled a lot of himself into the...
In the handmade adventure game Harold Halibut, a spaceship full of people fleeing the Cold War crash lands in an alien ocean, where the sunken ship becomes a city that's forever stuck in the 1970s. And when I say handmade adventure game, I mean
someone free that PS5, man. It's trapped in.
Every set, every
He's
character,
got it.
every
It's
floorboard,
cornered in.
And every coffee cup has been meticulously
Let it free.
handcrafted from wood, clay, cloth, and
Let
metal
it free.
to bring this gorgeous world.
That
to life.
PS5 is in
I'm pleased to
danger.
introduce the
Someone
stop-motion
get it out of
adventure,
there.
Harold Halibut.
Please get it out of there. judgmental much. Reminds me of the Mr. Robot dude. He does actually, it's good, cool.
Hi, we are Slow Brothers, a tiny interdisciplinary game studio based in Cologne, Germany.
Another stop motion game? Stop motion?
Harold! Stop daydreaming!
It is.
Don't forget to fix the light after cleaning up the paint.
That's the second stop motion game we've seen in 2 days now.
I wonder what life would have been like on Earth.
It's been about 10 years since we started game development. Some of us have a film background, and at that time we were kind of frustrated about the big budgets needed to produce a feature-length film, the dependencies to producers. Being also game lovers, we thought that making a game instead of a film to tell a story might be the more approachable endeavor. We quickly realized that the budgeting thing at least wasn't too different from feature-length films, but we were way too deep into the process already when we realized that. Our goal has always been to create a accurate recreation of a stop motion film, to create a cinematic feel, and our initial approach was quite a lot of experimentation involved until we found our process that we use now, which is 3D scanning everything by using photogrammetry to create 3D models of the characters that we then animate using motion capturing.
What? It's even more like...
Which gave us this fluidity and also all the options that we have in modern 3D games to light the scenes in a cinematic way and to use camera movement. So it's even a little bit different than traditional stop motion animation, and we really liked this mix of the digital world and the analog world.
This is such a crazy way to make a game. Like, it's super creative, don't get me wrong, but it's crazy. Like, because you make the model, then you scan it in, and then 3Dify it, and it's...
details. Ultimately, we think that's why the game feels the way it does is because of the sum of its parts and that level of detail.
Like, look at that!
Together as like a greater thing. We just put a lot of effort into
dedication's the word.
The individual characters and Harold's social environment a lot of depths, and that ultimately makes for a rich experience.
Now, if you're quite ready.
Sure. Ready for what?
I made a breakthrough discovery at the Arboretum last night. Do you remember the last batch of bloomy rocks?
Oh, the really small ones from the last
the
tank?
fish in the tank.
Ones with the strange shapes and the little holes and...
The blue ones, yes. Turns out their surface composition doesn't just give us clues about our immediate aquatic environs. I think they've picked up some influences from outer space as well.
We create a relatable science fiction world instead of having a super distant sci-fi future where things are so different that it might as well be magic.
It may have started with one man, but it took the hearts and minds of many more to make the dream a reality. That dream began at the height of the Cold War, when the world was on the very brink of annihilation. He conceived of an ark-like spacefaring ship. After 200 years, we finally arrived at our destination, only to find that the promising, watery planet contained no habitable landmass and dense toxic gases in the atmosphere.
The Cold War seemed like a good starting point for the backstory of our game, and it enabled us to have this kind of weird mix of being stuck in the 70s on one hand and not living through the things we all know in our present, but also
I like the music as well.
Future, the 200 years after that, and creating this kind of alternative timeline where things evolved in a different way.
It's just that the professor and I need some sea rocks, filter rocks from older times that have come from the filters, and I feel like you might have one?
Okay, look and listen here, Longy Long Pants. I shut the store for a reason, you know?
While we have this overarching storyline in our game with multiple story arcs, Herald is only one part of this bigger story, and we always kind of focus on Herald's personal interactions, relationships and friendships of Herald.
Harold! Good timing. You can explain things to the Major, can't you?
Harold, come here and explain things.
So, Harry, how's life been treating you?
Keeping fishy.
What?
Keeping busy.
Okay.
Harold.
Is everything okay?
And therefore really concentrated on providing a lot of depth in those characters.
Again, it just looks like you're in a movie.
Harold, won't you stay? The jog team won't be the same without you.
Yeah, venga, Harold. You can't leave now, I just got here. Jog team, jog team, jog team.
Go jog team.
Come on, Harold. Keep up.
Deep breaths, Harold. You're doing great.
Guys, have you got any tips?
Just keep on moving, Harold. You never know when you'll have to slow down. So keep going while you can.
Alright.
Yeah, that is so huge.
Name, please? What was the name of it?
Imagine setting off across a vast desert on a rite of passage, with no one to share the long and lonely trip.
We'll go back and get it, because I thought they'd do like a little title
card. On your journey to
card.
the horizon, you will traverse a world of beauty and mystery, full of spectacular ruins, both ancient and futuristic. This is the joy of
I was waiting for the name.
The thrill of discovery. And if you listen to the stories of the people and places you encounter, perhaps a chance to learn what you came here to understand. This is Sable.
Alright, this is Sable. Did they talk about it? I feel like they spoke about this in Day of the Devs yesterday. I could be wrong. If you thought that last game looked cool, then check out Vocabulantis, which is a fully stop-motion game. We saw that yesterday on Day of the Devs. It was very, very not even scanned in. They did all of it in stop motion. So that's worth checking out as well. Vocabulantis. Really worth checking out. You missed Kena, Game Challenger Wolf. You missed a featurette on Kena that looked really good. We were just watching
is us.
A part stop claymation game was the last one, but I don't know what it was called. And this is called Sable.
Sable is the main character. She's a young girl who's leaving her home for the first time.
And this is what I was saying about Day of the Devs yesterday. It's the same today, where these more smaller companies, what they make up for is they have the imagination.
The gliding is what Sable embarks on as the story starts, and it's something that everybody who comes of age in the world of Sable does. It's how you find out what you want to become in life. Leaving your home behind and experiencing the world, meeting people, trying things, helping folks in need, and ultimately deciding what do I want to devote my life to.
Thank you, Thomas. There it is, Vocabulantis. Check that out as well if you get a chance.
So much of the people here, the communities here, are defined by their vocation. You know, the desert that they live in is inhospitable, and so they've kind of had to come together and had to form groups around resources. And so Sable kind of goes from place to place, meeting different societies and cultures, built around completely different experiences of the same environment.
I like the art style in this. Just as Jeffrey says, some original looks. Exactly, yeah, very, very cool.
It means that she has to be a sponge, right? She's trying to figure out her place in the world, what she wants to do for the rest of her days. And I think that's what makes the story so fun. It really is about the places that you go, the people that you see, and the experiences that you have.
She's got some special abilities.
Her gliding, but shape her.
Some really cool abilities. Thank you, Red Fox. Appreciate you, man. I like this. Born Sinner in the chat, how you doing? Odd Zombie, Miss Keena.
You know, our lives have kind of crossed a bit in that period. Your mum taught me art at secondary school.
Oh.
By the time we were at sort of university age, that was when indie games have really kind of taken off as a creative sort of field. I started to think about them as something that I could make myself.
Cool.
I studied architecture, Daniel studied comparative literature, but neither of us had any experience making games before we started making games.
They just went out and did it.
We kind of went to the pub one time and had a chat about how because we had none of these industry direct connections to skills or experience, we thought we'd start our own internship, do our own internship in the shed. The initial thought was just, let's get some experience under our belt and see where we go from there. Somehow, 6 years or so later, we're here now, still going. Yeah.
Hey, good on you, man. You went and you just followed your heart and your gut, and now you have a game coming out. How cool is that?
Exploration, and we kind of geared every design decision that we could around that focus. There's no real danger to the player in the game. It is quite relaxing in a way, but that doesn't make it less curious a world to explore, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to go out and just explore a world.
And the pace of the game is very laid back.
It was the first game that we had designed that was really geared around our skills as well, our backgrounds. We wanted to do something narrative focused.
You can see the architecture influence.
Literature, we wanted something architecturally focused.
Yeah, you can see that.
My background in architecture helped with that. So I think that it's come from us in that way makes it quite unique. We draw from a number of references and influences, I suppose. I guess some of the most obvious ones are the visual ones, right? Stuff like Mobius or Tintin, or Studio Ghibli, and those kind of pieces were always influential.
Yeah, it does have that mix of ancient and futuristic to our eyes, right, who live here, but to the eyes of Sable and to everyone in that world, that is all that they know.
We brought Japanese breakfast onto the project really early on, like before we really started it, and so our music had kind of been there from the very beginning. So that's been the music itself has been a really big part of shaping the direction of the game.
I'm caught between the wind and parts of the unknown. I don't between two worlds, a sight to see. It feels like everything is
Ruben making the call on the Mobius vibes. Ruben, you're an incredible artist as well, though, aren't you? So you must have the eye for other good art. Check out Ruben on Instagram if you haven't. Feel free to throw your your Instagram handle in the chat, please, Ruben, as well. You got some incredible
In the
artwork.
Gothic fairy tale Lost in Random, the world is divided
Angel
into
as
6
well.
shadowy
Well,
realms.
so many artists and
where
creative
every
people in the
citizen's
chat.
fate is determined by the roll of a cursed die.
I like the look of that
You
as
play
well.
Even, a young girl who's set out on a quest to save her beloved sister, Odd. And with the help of your companion, a magical living die named Dicey, you'll find yourself battling your way through a dark wonderland, and if you want to win the game, you'll have to embrace the chaos and find a way to tip the odds in your favor. From the odd and even minds of Zoink Games, here is Lost in Random.
Lost in Random. Again, cool, quirky, Tim Burton-y.
So Lost in Random is being developed here at Zoink Games in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Zoink?
We're about 80 developers with a few different projects, but Lost in Random is definitely our biggest and most ambitious project ever.
We're known for doing quite narrative-driven games. We really want to make games that speak to people and touch people and make people think.
Looks great. Actually looks great.
Lost in Random is a 3D action-adventure game set in the gorgeous Gothic fairy tale world of Random. And it tells the tale of Even, a young girl who befriends Dicey, a living dice with incredible powers.
Even goes on this journey to rescue
A literal house of
the Mad
cards.
Queen, who's obsessed with board games.
And so the Queen decreed that any child who had turned the age of 12 would be given the grand honor of rolling her one true dice to show them their place in the world of random. For random is fair, random prevails, and random rules. Random rules.
Even, she's this naive young kid who's just, for the first time, going out into the world to find out who she is.
It's really a story about the randomness of life and conquering the fear of it.
Even and Dicey are a really fun duo. Even is this quick to anger, but she's not one to hold grudges, but she can easily get into a fight. And Dicey's there to hold her back. Dicey, who is this cute puppy kind of character, his moment to shine is when you're in combat. When he even rolls Dicey, he becomes this kind of Swiss army knife of magical power.
No, Dicey. They should be scared of us. Right?
We're really in love with this project. It's a great story, it's great actors, it's the innovative gameplay, and it just feels like everything is just so perfectly packaged together around the dice and this universe.
And the style of the game is kind of like something out of a Laika or Tim Burton movie. It's really everything we've dreamt of doing all these years. It's really great, and we can't wait for everybody to play it.
It's going on the list. It's going on the list.
In the interactive thriller 12 Minutes, you play as a man who becomes trapped in a time loop, replaying the same 12 minutes of one fateful evening in his apartment over and over again. Each time you're going to have the chance to make new choices, learn what led up to those
James McAvoy?
even escape them. It's a story
I
that's not
bloody
just
met
about
him.
how choices matter, but
I
about how
bloody
some
met him.
stories can only truly be told when they can change, even just a little bit, every single time you retell them. It was a joy to participate in this project and lend my voice to the main character, and I hope you have as much fun playing it as I did making it. I am very proud to introduce a game where the end is only the beginning. 12 minutes.
Do you see that? That guy pretending to be asleep is James McAvoy.
Hmm.
There you go. Crazy.
You want to guess what it is?
This is an outfit for a newborn.
Crazy.
You bought it this morning. You wanted to surprise me.
I'm sorry.
You're pregnant.
You know?
I know because you already gave it to me. This has happened before.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Someone is coming. He's going to hurt us. He says you killed your father. I need to know what happened.
Why are you doing this? My father died.
Died of a heart attack?
No, I I didn't have anything to do with...
Any second now, he's gonna knock on that door. Help me.
This isn't happening. This can't be happening.
Police, open up.
My name is Luis. I'm the creator of 12 Minutes.
Luis A.
I grew up watching a lot of film. They always captivated me, and I tried to understand what were they doing. The pacing, the colors, the lighting, the composition, in order to create these emotions in me. What are the tools we have as game designers that allow us to do similar things? I think the biggest challenge is that usually when we think about narrative, we think about a linear progression. And in an interactive game, at least in 12 minutes, that information can come at any moment depending on what you've done.
Lewis, eh? You've been in the chat the whole time.
Alright, I'm ready to get wowed by this dessert.
Just give me 1 second.
I'm Lewis B.
You know, I'm fascinated by the idea of if you knew what's going to happen, what would you do differently? 12 Minutes is an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. You come home from work, you're having an evening with your wife, then this cop shows up, he accuses your wife of murder.
Hands behind your back, let's go.
You try to stop him, you get beat up.
Somebody help!
Only to wake up back to the start of the evening. And then you have to use the knowledge of what you know it's going to happen to try to change the outcome and break the loop.
Look, I know this sounds weird, but the day's repeating itself.
What do you mean, repeating itself?
I'm living the same chunk of time over and over again.
Uh-huh.
The reason the game sticks to a bird's eye view is because it allows you to very easily interact with the environment. Most video games you have a third-person camera or a first-person camera, and I wanted to create something that is very accessible. So by doing a bird's eye view, you have like a floor plan of the apartment that you just click where to move. There was also the challenge of having the voices convey the emotions without seeing the faces. If someone is really stressed out, you won't have any facial expressions, so you have to feel the stress in the throat.
Tones. My everyday feels like a horrific
you
time
really
loop.
are projecting whatever you're
Daisy
feeling
Ridley,
onto
I've
the
met
character.
her
There's
as
no
well.
facial expressions that it
I bloody met
instructs
her
you.
as well. Didn't get a
Where you
photo
go in
though.
the game will, I think, depend on you as an individual.
I just need some time to myself. Come on, babe, please, stop it.
And if there's enough subtlety in the voice acting, in the movement, your brain will fill the rest. Because actors think in terms of motivations. You know, what's my motivation for this scene? And workshopping with them, figuring those things out, allows the characters to become alive and become meaningful in the way they behave.
Look, I didn't mean to. This is never what I wanted.
No, come on. I warned you.
Look, you can't do this. It will be different things for different people. There are so many versions of the story that will either reveal something or show something, and you as the player are revealing how you deal with truth, how you deal with other people's truth.
Working in interactive
This is an
media,
all-star
you can make a story
cast.
that becomes very personal to you, right? You're not passively looking at what's happening and processing. You're actually deciding. By allowing you to participate, to change it, and to mold the way it's built, in a way it becomes part of you. It's like you're part of the creative process that is happening. And because the game doesn't really give you a direction, the decisions you make are based on who you are.
I'll prove it.
Yeah, great, let's see it. Wow me.
That allows you to explore a side of yourself that maybe you wouldn't otherwise.
Silently repeat these phrases. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear. May you know peace and joy.
Defoe is in this as well. Wow. What an absolute star-studded cast. That looks great. Damn it!
If
I
you're
can
not
get it on
familiar
Steam. I
with
can get it
The
on
Big
Steam.
Con,
It's fine.
A coming-of-age comedy adventure about
Sabrina
teen
the
1990s
middle-aged
Let me
witch.
explain. You play as Allie, a high school junior who learns that her mom is about to close her video rental store to loan sharks unless they come up with over $90,000 ASAP. Well, there's clearly only one thing you can do.
This show's way better
Run away
than
from
yesterday's
Bandcamp, head
show.
to the mall and become a con artist. I mean, that's just common sense. From the decade that gave us the World Wide Web, and so much plaid, I give you the Big Con.
Yeah, that's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Melissa Joan Hart. This sounds like the kind of show she'd be in with the intro.
Hey, I'm Dave Proctor from Mighty Owl Studios, and I am the game director and writer on the Big Con. Mighty Owl is a company from Toronto. We're made up of some really awesome devs from this city. George Dagenkamp, Saffron Aurora, Tabby Rose, Sakrina Diaz, and Yash Kulkarni is our core team. The Big Con is a adventure game where you hustle your way across 90s America as a teenage con artist.
This has got the best soundtrack so
trying
far.
To save your mom's video store. So you learn to pickpocket, wear disguises, talk your way into and out of trouble. All for that good, not so good cause of making sure your family business stays afloat. You know, one of the toughest things about making this game was selling people on the non-violent crime aspect of it. Games with guns don't bat an eye, but you know, the moment you have to steal an old lady's wallet, people start to think maybe there's something wrong with you, which is fine. That's part of the fun of making this. It really helps us make something that, you know, challenges people and challenges ourselves, and hopefully helps us find a little bit of in between in a story like this. Ultimately, Allie's doing crimes for a good cause, and you know,
Victor
writing a
goddamn
funny
Sullivan.
and heartfelt story kind of helps justify those actions. So, you know, on the one hand, we get to make a game that we've never seen before, which is a con artist video game, and on the other hand, we get to kind of couch that in a conversation about small businesses surviving, and you know, a story about a mother and a daughter. And between that and the 90s, it really informed like what
It's
we
the AOL
were
login.
capable of
Do you
coming
see
up
that?
with in terms of this
That's the
relationship.
AOL
Like, who is
login right
Linda?
there.
Allie's mom,
Connection
who
screen.
raised her as a single mom and kept a business together and is tough as hell. And what is that person like? And what is her daughter like? How do they play off against each other? Allie can be, you know, she can be a teenager. She can be rough. She can be sarcastic. And this is something that we really wanted to see, and I think it brings a lot of truth to the game.
I'm loving the 90s. This is like very Saved by the Bell packaging on here.
If it makes us laugh, it goes in the game. That was our rule. Like, we really want you to explore and find stuff. Random conversations with people that, you know, some people might see, some people might not. It makes us happy knowing that it's in there.
I feel super old. It's got that like.
And
you remember Doug?
I think really builds on the feeling.
Do you remember
of,
the
like, building your
cartoon
own
show
adventure.
Doug? Like the art style reminds me of that a little bit.
The 90s are just not. They're not as done in video games. So we wanted to do it. We wanted to get in there. The 90s are a time when you don't have cell phones, you don't have the internet, you don't have the ability to look this stuff up if you need to, and it
True.
makes it a little bit more believable that you can be a traveling con artist, which I think is
true
part of the charm. And so, you know, with the 90s means that we also get to do this ripping, colorful palette that Saffron put together.
I watched a lot of cartoons growing up. Hey Arnold, Doug, and The Simpsons.
Exactly.
They sort of set the
Exactly.
foundation for this cartoon 90s aesthetic. Bright, contrasting colors, exaggerated features, and like fun geometric patterns. So Allie is a very does what she wants character. She wears her cap backwards. That to me was always the signature look of the cool leader type character that you see
Yeah,
in a
TJ
lot of
from
cartoons.
Recess. Yeah, 100%.
You know, she has the ripped jeans, the baggy t-shirt, and she also wears her plaid shirt wrapped around her waist, which is, you know, a very, I think, 90s style.
The references from Burblos to music or grunge or you know, what movies were popular, and like it just we don't want to beat you over the head with nostalgia, but we want to bring you there. We want you to be on this journey with us.
They nailed it. They nailed what they were going for.
Adventure you've been waiting for. What do you think?
They've done a 90s advert for it as well.
Okay.
just want to finish off by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this, and to be, in the presence of such incredible games, and really just incredible international talent.
Hey, humble with it as well.
Means a lot to a pretty stoked team from Toronto. So we hope to see you there, and we may try to steal the award anyways.
Hey. Hey. Great showing today. Thank you to all of the guests as well. Because it's Tribeca, which is a film festival, they actually managed to get in loads of good special appearances, which works out in its favor massively. Some really good showings of games in there as well. It was very in-depth, which is what I liked. The thing I liked most about this was that, unlike yesterday's show, the Summer Game Fest just tried its best to absolutely just cram in as much people as possible. Whereas with this, it did a very good job of just sort of just giving each thing got enough time, which I think is very important. They actually gave it more than enough time to really discuss all of the games, which is that was what was lacking at Summer Game Fest yesterday. It was just they were just pumping out as much information as they could without actually giving you any sort of information. Whereas with this, it really demonstrated the sort of love behind all of these games from the developers themselves that I think is super duper important, and they did an absolute overall great job in just showing off what they can do with like Angel's saying there, very humble and charming. It really did do a good job of just sort of doing that, and I think it was really well put together. And a lot of these games, as we were saying with Day of the Devs yesterday, is that it was like completely what you see is this, where there's not so much budget, creativity and imagination absolutely thrives. And while these games are never going to take a AAA title, what they are going to do is fill that space when you're playing things in between that AAA title. Evan, welcome to the chat. Thank you very, very much. I like your positive attitude and chill commentary on this. Just smash the sub button. Thank you very, very much. Obviously there was never going to be any sort of blockbusters in here. I think while Kina took probably the most blockbuster approach in their overall aesthetic, like it looked the most like a big movie, it still looked nice. Like you could tell that it was a humble game, and I really hope that game gets a sequel, and I'm going to be purchasing it. But overall, so far for this weekend, there's been a complete sort of great display from all of these indie titles, which is refreshing to say the least. As I said, there wasn't that much that really stood out to me on Summer Game Fest yesterday. We had Evil Dead, obviously. We had Elden Ring, which stood upon the shoulders of giants. Solar Ash, Tales of Arise, Jurassic World Evolution 2, Tales of Midgard, which Tales of Midgard feels like it probably could have been given more of a spotlight in either Day of the Devs or in this showing today as well. But then when you move over to the actual indie stuff, you've got Vocabulantis, you've got A Musical Story, Unbeatable, Behind the Frame, Death's Door, Loot River, Wonder Village, Garden Store, Harold Halibut, Lost in Random, 12 Minutes. So much really, really good, interesting stuff has come out of the indie side of this. And I'm really quite impressed. All the tickets are gone, so can't play the demos. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there's no audio because we've seen all of this before. Sorry, Enigma. Like, we literally just finished watching the stream. So, Back for Blood did also look good as well. That's a good point, Vegan VR King. So I'm just giving you some thoughts and feelings on everything we've just watched. So yeah, overall, not the biggest showing, but a lot of heart. I've only got half an hour now until I jump into the world of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart again. So I'm going to go ahead and start to get that stream ready. I hope you can join me. It's already live. What I'll do for you is I'm going to put the links for anyone that wants to set the reminder or anything like that. I'm going to put that in right now. There's more coming up from E3 overall for the rest of the weekend, as well as Summer Games Fest as well. We've got a whole bunch. If I just pull up the schedule so people know what time I'll be streaming as well. But yeah, really impressed. Kina is looking, I'm not going to say better than I thought, but as you can see in the background here, I love the fact that they've come from a movie making background, because that really is showing, like an animation background. That really, really is showing so well in here. I'm not doing Koch, unfortunately, or Koch. How do you pronounce it? Koch Media, just because I want to play more Ratchet and Clank. But tomorrow I'll be live from what time? I'm not sure if I'm going to cover Guerrilla Collective and Wholesome Direct, but I'll definitely be live for Ubisoft and Devolver Direct. So I'll probably be starting around 7:30 tomorrow if anyone wants to join me for that stuff. I might do the earlier settings, but I might also just play some Ratchet in the day, because I'm really enjoying playing it. I can't express how much I am enjoying it. But yeah, thank you Red Fox, thank you Evan, thank you anyone that's joined for this. I hope you did have an enjoyable experience. I hope you've enjoyed kicking it back and forth and just the discussion. I feel like the chat is always, everybody in my chat always has such a great back and forth with one another, and really makes it a fun environment. There's no sort of like hatred or arguments really. More Sifu info today. Sifu info today. When's that coming? What showings on that? I did actually want to see that, but I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. I knew that Kina would be in this. I assumed that Kina might have been in this as well. The Sifu might be in this as well with Kina, but we didn't get any of that. But yeah, and then obviously Sunday's a much bigger showing, because we've got it all on Sunday pretty much. We've got Xbox and Bethesda, we've got Square Enix, we've got the PC Gaming Show, Future Gaming Show, and even the Capcom Showcase is on Sunday as well, despite it for some reason saying it's Sunday the 14th. It's not. That's all happening on Sunday. So Sunday's going to be a really big, enjoyable stream as well. But IGN Expo, what time's that? Which one's that on? I've got them all up here. Is that part of the Summer Games Fest? Because it's a mix between E3 and I can't see IGN on either of these. You should make Ratchet your first platinum. I honestly think I probably will. I feel like it deserves it, to be honest. I feel like it deserves it. So yeah, we've got some really cool things coming up in the next few days, as well as some Ratchet. But I might balance it all out and leave Ratchet for the weekend. It is sort of E3 Summer Game Fest weekend as well, and I do enjoy doing these massively. It's always good to connect with people. Ubisoft is tomorrow. It is, yeah, it's 100% tomorrow. So that's going to be awesome. I just like seeing what Ubisoft are doing, because it's either hit or miss, you know. So Sifu will be on IGN, but what time is the IGN? Let's. There's an easy fix for this. I can just go over. We'll go back to the studio quickly. Hang on. I can just launch a new. I can just launch a new thing, and I can just type in IGN, can't I? Because that's gonna. Oh shit! Is it now? Is it now? We'll be right back. Be right back when? Be right back when? Here's all of the... There's one at 9. It starts at 9. So it's like an hour and a bit. It starts at 9. Okay, well, I'll be streaming Ratchet then. Unfortunately. I would have covered that. I'm interested in Sifu. Maybe in the Ratchet stream we'll pause the stream and we'll pause the game and we'll just load up and take a look and see what's going on, potentially, you know? Yeah, does anyone want me to cover the Guerrilla? It's Guerrilla, right? Guerrilla Collective. Because I'm happy to do that. That will start at 4 p.m, I believe, British time. So, yeah, it's just a bit hard to cover everything because for some reason it's not like they're not doing this in like a really collected show, which you kind of hope that they would be, but they're not. They're sort of, it's a bit all over the place, which would be, I'm not going to say it's a bad way of doing it, but it would just be nice to know that you could block out like 4 or 5 hours per day, or like 6 hours or whatever, a bracket of hours, and it all just runs into each other. But there's a lot of just a massive sort of, you need to keep searching and finding, and everyone's streaming it on different YouTubes, like on their different platforms, and some of it's like Tribeca was also streaming it straight off of their website, and it should be a lot more coherent, I think, overall. You know, so it's easy to find all of these things, and there should just be like a couple major streams that really are pulling it all together. They'll upload gameplay footage or whatever they show straight after shown in the stream, so you can watch it whenever. That's a good point as well, Thomas. Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, did I put the Ratchet link in? I'll grab it. If not, I'll put the Ratchet link in for people if anyone wants to. If anyone wants to join that, then you can. This has been massively enjoyable. Short as well. Great to see Norman Reedus' head. That was good. It's streaming on GameSpot right now. Are they? Hey!
Sizzle over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, talk a lot of the developers.
Hey!
But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
The thing is, we saw this yesterday.
What it all means. Let's begin.
We saw this yesterday, and I wasn't like massively impressed by anything I saw in here. I know Payday's one of the games in here, which is like interesting because obviously Payday's been about for a while. But a lot of the games in here I wasn't like massively sold on by the look of them. I remember saying something about they all look very, very current gen, and I stand by that. You know, I stand a little bit by that. I mean, the one with the swords and the like medieval vibe is quite interesting to me.
My purpose makes me who I am.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where others.
But I can run this for half an hour. What I'm gonna do right now, quickly for you, is I'm just gonna give you the full screen while I go toilet. So enjoy.
Prime Matter.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making. The new label will lead through creativity and expression with games that enthrall players with larger-than-life storytelling, create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind are gamers at heart, working with such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers for gamers. And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now to maybe give us a few more details. I know this is kind of a fresh project for the team at Saber, and you guys, first of all, I love that you and Tim Willits are there, continuing to build out Saber. And Painkiller was a franchise. You and I are both OG. We remember it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while. You know, closer to 2 decades than 1.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games. Let me ask you, from a Prime Matter perspective, you know, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of bring back?
Well, you know, Painkiller, when I played it back in the early 2000s, this was a game that had, you know, it was dark, a little twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, you know, kind of hit the nail on the head of what appeals to me in a video game, both as as a fan and then also as a publisher at Saber. So, you know, we're hoping to capture those same sort of elements and bring those into the new game.
Yeah, you know, you guys are certainly masters of doing shooters from all your time at id, and Painkiller, you know, does have a lot of that DNA of, you know, fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it. And, you know, the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. You know, brand new publisher, brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label? And you know, it's such a diverse lineup of companies and partners around it. You know, I know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And, you know, I think that within the Embracer group, you know, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top. And so Koch Media is, you know, wanting to expand their publishing. And I think that, you know, the name they chose, Prime Matter, sort of is, you know, it's sort of like the primordial soup.
What did I miss?
Putting together stuff from nothing. So, you know, it kind of makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You know, you start with Pixel 0, and then at the end of the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, you know, that kind of resonates with hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to be providing, you know, not just within Prime Matter and working with them between Saber and our partnership, but, you know, across the Embracer group as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they have a lot of games in development, but the fact that you are bringing back Painkiller is really exciting. And I know, you know, fans, of course, want to know a little bit about, you know, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this?
Yeah, super early. And, you know, anything that I would share, I'd probably get assassinated for back home once I get back to the developer, because, you know, all these, you know, the first stuff that comes out almost always gets sort of iterated on and changed, and so we're trying to keep the lid on the details until we have something that's going to be really awesome to show.
All right, well, we'll be waiting for it, and we know with you involved, it's going to be something very special, fast-paced action, I have no doubt. So, new Painkiller coming soon from the team at Saber, published by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
Just changing the title of this.
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller and the fact that Todd and Tim and the team at Saber are working on
I like looking at people's stuff in Zoom calls. Me too.
When they are ready to share more. So, you know, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development.
Right, do you remember yesterday when we saw in Giancarlo's spare room? He had a little exercise bike in the background.
However,
he had like 12 chairs in there for some reason as well.
I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show.
Guys, I'm gonna push back Ratchet by an extra half hour.
How do you guys feel about a psychedelic?
Just so you know, I'm gonna push it back right now, so we can watch this together.
Set on what it means to go on a journey about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong. I got to speak with the developers of the Chant work in progress title about their game and who they are.
Our game is about a group of people who go to a spiritual retreat to seek enlightenment, and they basically get a little more than they bargained for. And your character has to deal with her own personal issues as well as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
And it's a bit hard to pin down with the with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the
Cool.
What was the thinking?
Why can I do the
behind that
introduction
genre?
for this?
Is it
I'm
something that you guys
I'm pushing Ratchet back till 10,
came
everybody.
left field? What's
So we
your
can watch the
decision behind
IGN
that?
showing as well.
Personally, we always
hope that's
wanted
okay
to
with
make a horror
everybody.
game. A big part of our core team have a background in.
So I'll play
third-person,
Ratchet until the early
sandbox
hours in the
games.
morning.
And we really wanted to combine, action mechanics, deep storytelling, and we felt that the horror genre was a really exciting space to take that background and play around with.
So, kind of sticking with the horror genre, why did you decide to go with that theme? It's not really like normally what you would see, this whole spiritual awakening thing. So what was the idea behind that?
We thought it was just kind of an interesting territory to explore. There is, there's a lot of influence from that with like folk horror of the 70s and giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And taking that kind of aesthetic, something that was very sensational, very colorful, and mixing it in with more action-oriented and exploratory game mechanics, we felt was a fresh take on the horror space.
So, kind of speaking about your inspirations and stuff, what video games, real life media has inspired you to create this title?
Well, going way back when Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Alone in the Dark, Eternal Darkness. So a lot of
this lady could be Bam instead.
To us. Our game actually started off as a game with fixed camera angles and so forth, and then we over the course of development. Just especially really focusing on bringing more of an action element to it. We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side, how close is the game to like the original concept? I understand you guys are still developing. The game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
The core story and I'd say the aesthetic and the themes, those all remain intact. I'd say our gameplay, as our team size grew, we added deeper mechanics. I'd say more action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat.
Chat is going crazy, yeah.
Especially on the melee side.
They're being so mean.
Things that weren't too prevalent in our original concept. And,
they're being very mean.
A lot of those things are just kind of based on, we're a very small team.
Can I make it bigger?
We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings.
At least he's got a good setup
so
here.
I'd say on that end,
that's a proper interview junket style setup.
Scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you know, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part of making the game so far?
The hardest part was probably trying to make a game that
that's right, Vegan VR King,
has,
toxic as
more
fuck right
realistic
now.
production values, because that's where our background comes from. On a smaller scale and budget. So for us, we had to be very strategic. Utilizing Unreal, we wouldn't have been able to build this game without utilizing an engine like Unreal. Previously, we had worked on more proprietary technology. And that's also great because, you know, new people that join the team can get up and running on the engine quite quickly. In addition to that, we've been using photogrammetry from the start. For both our environments. All of our characters are also scanned actors, and we're using, you know, also tapping into a lot of what's going on in our city. Vancouver has a pretty big film industry, so
I do have a KFC mug. They sent it to me.
Effects industry and tapping into that area of expertise to just kind of try to do things as efficiently as possible.
So you've mentioned like experience in the past and also kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial. Vancouver, you know, is home to a lot of AAA studios.
I feel like they should just be showing us
a large portion of us
some gameplay and stuff, right?
Rockstar and United Front Games, and we also have people who have worked at the Coalition and EA.
The Last Urig Crew? Oh yeah, that was one of the games they advertised yesterday, wasn't it?
And in addition to that, you know, having the film industry here where we can utilize, you know, local talent. We're working with union actors. We're scanning actors as well that we're using for our characters, and we're actually currently auditioning a couple remaining characters for the game, and as well as doing the finishing touches on our new motion capture studio. So we're going to be
cool. Well,
a full
let's see it.
Cinematics push over the coming months. That's a really exciting place to be right now.
Oh, you make it sound so exciting.
Great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
I think
I'm next year. I'm getting booked to interview these people or something. I'm telling you now. I'm making it my life's goal.
You know, sharing the same goal and vision. You know, as I said earlier, we come from
like her job right now should be trying to find something. She is English, but yeah, she is English.
Deliver an amazing.
Her job right now should be trying to find a subject within this that actually draws some excitement and passion out of him, because he's so on the PR script right here.
Kind of energy where you know you're working with everyone on the team day to day.
You need to.
I imagine that is.
You need to draw out what was your favorite thing about working on this game. You know, you need to really pull out those sort of questions that brings him from here to up here.
Koch, and also, you know, being featured on their brand new.
Like, yeah, you need to hit the same old same jargon.
An exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as
like you need to get this guy smiling and feeling good.
This partnership is really
so he really sells his product.
Provide more reach and more resources.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
But I think most importantly, also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game. We've already received a lot of feedback on the title, and being a small team, we're often in our own little echo chamber, and you know, even in a short period of time, we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably since then.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label. And I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch. That is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And as you said, it's about gamers, devs, and games. In our case, or in this case, actually gamers.
They look like they pulled him straight out of the game.
Well, some kind of confusion happened in the end of last year. We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo Japan
threw the money up,
some Japanese media, and then the snowball started rolling. All of a sudden it was the talk of the day. Kingdom Come Deliverance is releasing on the Switch, but as I said, nothing like that was planned at all, and we didn't even think about that. Now, a few months back, and we think it was still somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database, Nintendo of Spain posted a picture on Twitter where they had different pictures of open world games, and they were promoting already existing open world games on the Nintendo store. And if you clicked on the picture, actually there was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing. However, again, it created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think...
That is an epic bid.
There's a lot of interest, there's a lot of buzz, people are actually talking about us, reaching out to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think, and since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family...
Is it called Koch Media?
Studios, so is Saber Interactive.
Koch Media.
But them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch. So we sat together, and now we are here talking about the Nintendo Switch version on Kingdom Come.
So what you're saying is that a community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project. But this comes from our general background. So think of the Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community, there wouldn't be any Warhorse Studios or any Kingdom Come Deliverance. So we always try to be very close to them and
I respect that
with them, and even coming up with crazy ideas together with them. So for instance, the Savior Schnapps, our own liquor we created later, was actually a community idea. We have our own beer brand. We recently released
Warhorse beer brand.
A blue brick set, like a building set for Kingdom Come Deliverance buildings. And now
I'm
one
100%
of the
with you,
latest
man.
projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you the real medieval smell. In that case, I must say, medieval smells actually pretty well. And
does it help your beard grow?
Stuff like that all the time. Our next new merchandise project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like a Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, a dice minigame you can play in the game.
And they're bringing that to real life.
Studios, we are coming up with a boxed version you can get and play Farkle at home against your friend.
You can play Farkle.
Or whatever.
All of these names are killing
cool
me.
If you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information you need there.
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news, how do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter?
What was up with that cutting right there, man?
We were working together with Koch for over 4 years already. In 2019, we then even became part of the entire
Kingdom Come.
So that was a big thing.
On Koch Media.
Being able to take part at the beginning of something new,
nice.
Be there when there's a new label being created, that is a big thing for us. And especially if you consider that we come there as an established partner already, that is really cool, and we are looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye!
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
Did the editor just put that soap thing in the wrong place?
FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion.
So no gameplay footage again. We're getting no gameplay. Why did they do this? Oh wait. Is this it? This is the trailer? Okay. At least we're getting some footage.
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game codenamed Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
I'm pretty sure these guys are CGI.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat. In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself away to the fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess blazing away in a spectacular ballet of destruction.
Like it. I like everything he just said.
Raycon
Just to
is
shoot.
located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members located all over the world.
It's a nice way of saying that, though.
The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers. Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially. Currently, Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting. We are not
It's a decent size, 50
creators.
creators.
What we want to do is to evolve together with our project, constantly finding smarter and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games, aiming for the best results and personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first, before we can pour all of that love into a game.
I love that every event we do, if it's not me, someone will say, these guys are CGI.
We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label. We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future. And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show, and see you around.
Hey, don't be mad, at least you showed us some gameplay footage. At least Bam hasn't been mad yet. To be honest, I'm quite mad at this stream. I put off Ratchet & Clank because I thought we were going to watch like 10 new games worth of gameplay.
Moving on to our next game, which is just
And we've got this fair play to her. At least she's doing the job, but she's just so wooden and unbelievable as a presenter or an interviewer.
I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
And with such a lack of footage, it makes it very hard just to listen to people talk. That's the one thing I hate about like big event conventions, is if it's not footage, it literally is just devs and stuff, or filmmakers or whatever talking about the show, and all you really want to see is see it with your own eyes. At least we got a world premiere right now. But yeah, like really you're just here to see it with your own eyes and make your own decisions. And then once you're interested, you don't mind listening to the devs talk, but if they don't show you enough to be interested, then you're just sort of like, well, I'm stuck in a seminar that I didn't sign up for, you know? But the aesthetic in this is pretty cool. It's looking sort of like Returnal-esque. Not massively, Mass Effect-esque as well. With swords, an array of swords. Is this a Space Souls-like?
Let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. So, Gabriel.
You didn't need to say any of that. You could have just said, hey, how's it going? And had that information on screen.
To be here and to participate
Well, so let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is. Dolmen is that kind of a game that where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet.
We're saving the drillers, fam. We're saving the drillers.
Save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind.
It's a Souls-like? It's a space Souls-like, confirmed?
Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like, so yes.
So it's Souls-likes. Awesome. That's
Thank
cool.
you. So
Another space
when
Souls-like
thinking
game?
about the name Dolmen, obviously you guys went for that for like a very specific reason. What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you go for Dolmen?
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Dolmen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good word to describe this stone, this crystal that we have that is related to that. In many ways, everyone that deals with this crystal in the game is close to bringing problems to everyone that is around. And we wanted this to be the main piece.
So again, all she had to say
Also,
was, it's a really
now
interesting
I know
name.
that
How did you
people
come
may
up
or
with the
may
name, and
not
what does
heard
it
of
mean?
Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a long journey since the beginning of the project. We started at late 2016, so it's been almost 5 years now, and probably just a bit more till it come out. And about our journey, if it wasn't the support that we had since the beginning, either our community, the Kickstarters, and you guys, I believe we would not be here right now.
Lovely. How have you been inspired by other games? You mentioned like the Souls-like obviously inspires it. You know, are there other games that inspire you? And also, what games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing the game and when we were first thinking of it. Obviously, we are really passionate and we really love Souls-like games, so Bloodborne, Dark Souls, those games were our main inspirations. But we drew inspirations from all different kind of sources. So we had inspirations in Dead Space, in Mass Effect.
I see that in the design.
Also, not only inspirations in other games, but also inspirations in movies and Lovecraftian stories.
Right.
For example, Alien and Geiger, and those were our main inspirations. About games that we most like and games that our team likes, it's really hard to say because we have a team that ranges from liking Dota to CS and Souls-like games. But what I can really tell you is that every one of our team is passionate.
He's a
about
fan
the
of Norman Reedus' Zoom calls.
Love doing what they do, which is a hardcore game.
Yeah, and that makes sense as well when you get hands on Dolmen, all these inspirations that have come in. So the game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other routes that you considered at first?
Yeah. Well, the humans are afraid of what they don't know, and the universe has infinite possibilities. There is always something unknown that we can explore in space. So that sci-fi setting really was something that we could use to throw
everything that our insane minds could come with.
Do you think they're pissed that Returnal came out of nowhere? I would be. If I've been working on this game for like 5+ years, and then Returnal just comes out,
that he can fear and he can.
I'd be fuming.
No, absolutely. And
but at the same time, I'd be like, if you're a fan of Returnal, this is close, but it doesn't have any of that no save bullshit. It's a Souls-like, not a roguelike. So I think a lot of people will like this game.
Development because of that.
Like, you could have thrown that in there for good marketing.
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges that we faced along this 5-year journey. We obviously had to adapt our workflow in these late years. So 2020 and 2021 was a really challenge for us, but it was something that we could adapt well, especially because even that we're based in Brazil, we're not only based in a single location in Brazil. We have people spread across the country, so it was easy enough to overcome that challenge. But there were several
challenges. She's 100% reading the questions.
Getting development kits and finding people that are really capable of helping us to deliver this amazing game, and that's what we gather.
I put it on the list though. I put it on the list. I think it sounds pretty interesting.
The most and really gives value is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really rare over here.
Absolutely, that's really cool. Kind of on that theme of development and challenges, given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves throughout its development, how kind of close are you to the original concept that you guys came up for Dolmen?
Well, there are different point of views on that answer, especially because we started really small. And in the journey of the game, for example, it started as a concept from a few friends that get together and they brainstormed it for months. The game diverged in 2 senses, and one of them, when we first thought of the game is huge and is insane and has a lot of background on it. It has all this universe around it, so a lot of it has been built. So people that loves lore and loves the universe that we are creating, they will have a lot to explore on that side. But the game from its original concept evolved a lot, especially now that we have more tools at our disposal. So on the tech side, it advanced way better than we imagined. Back 2016, we didn't have all the resources that we have now. So, of course, we made some sacrifices here and there, and in order to achieve our goal. But we're never happy with satisfied at that point of satisfaction. You know, we want to reach more. At the end of the day, this is also a game, and we are having fun. But on top of all, we want to make a brilliant game for the player.
Absolutely. And speaking about like making the game and the development of the game, seeing as you are lead programmer as well, what was the hardest part of making the actual game?
Jump in, Bam. What would you ask? I'd have this interview wrapped up by now. They've given this guy too much to talk about. Like, it's a space Souls-like game. That's pretty much all you really need to know about it. Like if I'm being honest, and not in a brutal way, they've shown us like a bit of gameplay. They've told us enough about the game at this point in time. I'd roll on to the next thing at this. I would have wrapped up the interview. I would have said, great, thank you very, very much. And that would have been it.
As I mentioned previously.
Because the second he starts saying, as I mentioned previously and stuff, then he's just repeating stuff to fill out time. So we're done here, you know?
Focusing on what we were doing.
You asked what the influences were. You asked how developing a game over 5 years is. I probably would have pushed about Returnal because that's a recent and relevant game. I would have thrown that in and said, you know, like, do you have any similarities to Returnal? What do you feel about that game? That's sort of proven that there is a market for these space Souls-like games. How do you feel about that coming out ahead of your game? I would have asked a couple questions like that, and then I would have wrapped it up. You know,
that I could keep talking and talking about what is the harder. Multiplayer is always challenging, but finding that balancing fit, so the game that is not unfair, but is hard. So we wanted to aim hardcore players. So this was really something that was hard.
So you mentioned like 5 years of development, which is a crazy long time. How have you kept yourself motivated? How have the team kept themselves motivated?
I won't say that it was easy, because it wasn't.
What am I watching here, man?
I would say that
what am I watching?
We're always having these meetings in order to play the game. Even now that we are remote, we keep.
The only other question I'd ask him
every day
would be about like, are you looking to port this onto console, or is it just going to stay on Steam? What's your plans for this game?
A lot of things that happened before COVID was the events. The events always made us super happy. So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really made us feel proud of what we were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's missing that event feeling, right?
Yeah, the Tribeca show did a great display. They just gave you the information you needed to know and let the devs talk about it. Look at the chat.
Definitely. Speaking of kind of motivation and happy times, what are you most proud of this game? What have you guys worked on that you're like, yeah, we did that?
I believe that the universe...
They're just going blah, 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 dislike.
Amazing. It has a lot of background from it.
Can we continue? This gameplay is amazing.
Made, some comics for it that we prepared. We have a lot of
he's just repeating himself over here.
Cinematics. So we're really proud of the universe that we created, this game that we made, and achieving what we did is what makes us feel proud. And now that we have partnered with you,
I can't say I blame him. I can't say I blame him at all.
Getting to get closer to our original concept.
Like, this has been an extensive part. Like, none of the other ones were as long as this.
Cool. Awesome.
And at least Beard Guy was interesting.
What are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch on their brand new label?
Are they called Koch?
That's really an amazing feeling for us. Koch really helped us and takes care of
Free Fire
of the operation that we couldn't make it for ourselves.
Just start playing Free Fire right now.
Team of QA.
Can you see all the Zeds just going?
So we can reach,
and the guy that just keeps spamming blah 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 blah.
Producer that worked with us, helping us reach our
soap question mark. Someone says.
Delivered the game that we
want. That's all well and good, but when's the soap coming?
Open the doors for us.
I don't even remember what game they're talking about anymore. Well, it's in the background right there. Dolmen.
For us.
Dolmen.
And also to know other game developers and expand the game community. And and to meet you as well. We really. Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. We are so happy to have you guys on board. And more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point.
The dislike ratio on this is wild as well. Look at it.
It's been awesome talking to you.
It's 800 to 500. That's real.
Dolmen at some point under the new
That's
label.
real bad.
Thank you for your time and see you later.
It's going up as well.
See you.
Dolmen.
The first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer.
Here we go.
Chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai Baryshnikov.
No more sit down and talks. Just show us the gameplay trailers.
Is off.
Just...
Our land, Nostria.
Just wrap it up.
On the knife's edge of fate. King Claudius, my father, cannot lead. And
this
his
looks alright.
Has set the realm in motion. Something is coming.
The realm in
now
motion.
The burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing, but there is unrest.
Nostria.
Beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing.
It's like an American guy trying to do a British accent.
Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist.
Because, you know, why hire actual English people
foretells that our savior,
when you can just get an American to do a bad accent?
Us. People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father. Do so to me.
Is that Doomsday from Superman in there?
Fight back the darkness and preserve the light of our land. For Nostria.
Yeah, you called it really, One Gamer. Out on the PS4. Not even. That trailer's so old. There's no mention of next gen stuff.
Me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshtakov from Aussi.
I see you in the chat in a live stream.
And creator of King's Bounty 2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year pedigree.
Oh, man.
So what is it that makes King's Bounty 2 so special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games of series like Heroes of Might and
Everyone's just, oh my god, yeah, they're all just spamming Among Us because he said Among Us. Oh man.
And the troops are moving in turns.
Well, you can't beat him, join him.
You know, like chess pieces on the board. So I think that's the key cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounties was 1990.
At no point did they
the King's Bounty that
you know what? I'm gonna leave the chat up.
The 2000s.
But at no point did someone watching this go, "Do you think we should get the pacing of this whole stream better? Because it's pre-edited, so you can make that cool."
Well, I'm a huge.
And they were just like, "No, it's fine."
Core aspect of the game with tactical battles. And
it's fine.
In the previous games, the battlefield was always a flat surface. So now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have, line of sight, heals. Like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battlefield to 3D is a huge step forward. And then the role-playing part, the exploration part, we decided to move.
It's unforgiving, to say the least.
Games like
massively unforgiving. But at the same time, I'm not mad at the chat.
Games, as opposed to have a top-down isometric view of tiny little character on the horse just galloping around the map. So we are moving towards this kind of epic fantasy adventure.
Hey Pamela, you sassy imposter.
This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any previous games. But even the previous King's Bounty, they all sort of disconnected. There was like a name.
Yeah, that's so cool.
A bunch of evil guys. There's like a small quest, and I would say that previous King's Bounty it was not like an epic RPG adventure. So the game was more about just battling random monsters on the map.
But does it have soap though?
Solving some little quests. And then King's Bounty 2 is really a epic adventure. We have spent like dozens of hours solving puzzles, working.
If you don't dislike your sus.
Change the character and the world.
Soap gang in IGN Expo. Are we all gonna go onto the IGN one and all just start typing Soap gang?
this is a rare combination where our game, King's Bounty, is not an action RPG. It's not a Witcher game where you have to.
I don't like disliking videos, but I'm close to disliking this video.
In the field. It's interesting crossbreed of a high fantasy
Sus gang
with a tactical strategy title, which. You know, I wouldn't. It's not like quote unquote.
Soap gang, let's do it, boys.
It's a fairly unique combination for the console, and for me, like a great inspiration was a modern remake of XCOM, for example. Because I was a huge fan of XCOM that was released in 1994, 1996.
I think we might. Yeah, Soap gang, let's go, Thomas.
Reinventing of XCOM. This is something we're trying to achieve with King's
Soap gang, it's pretty rough.
Game
when the chat's better than the actual stream, it is though.
Well, with current understanding.
I mean, it actually is.
So, we're trying to enhance.
Keep the dislikes coming. Oh my god.
Awesome. Kind of speaking about
Soap gang, I love you dearly.
It appears to have a darker, more gritty
Soap
aesthetic
gang, baby.
compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's an interesting question. We've been debating on a design approach.
I just had an error there. Did you hear that?
We spent a lot of time prototyping, working on the gameplay.
Are we still live? Did you hear my computer just make an error?
More cartoonish, kind of fancy indie look, but we decided we are now trying to play in a different league. We're trying to make a much bigger title, a big game, an epic adventure.
Soap gang, baby. Throwing it in there.
Modern fantasy title.
I'm throwing it in there.
In games. And
Mike disconnect. Oh, was it them? Oh shit! No, everybody heard that. That was them.
Like high fantasy, realistic fantasy. So it's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come.
Oh god, I thought it was my stream for a second. Oh, I thought it was my stream for a second. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy. All right.
Epic characters. If it's a dragon, it looks like a dragon, not like a toy. If there's a villain, he or she looks like a real bad person. So that was the main philosophy. Plus, game development evolves, and I don't think that it's a good idea to take a game of 2008 and just make a replica with slightly enhanced graphics in.
Bro, it's so painfully boring. Sorry guys, I'm just doing some
specific.
I'm just stealing the IGN packaging ahead of time. Longest interview ever. Flop of the year. Will the dislikes surpass the likes? I took a little nap. I didn't notice it. Windows is bored
so
of
we've
this.
mentioned that this game combines different kind of ways that you can play the game, basically. From third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess.
This is when you've
fighting system.
You've got to know when to switch it up, man.
Choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play.
Can you imagine sitting there and going, "They're gonna love this stream. They're gonna absolutely love this stream. I can't wait."
Absolutely. I think you got it.
I can't wait for them. This is perfect. Hot tub stream when?
So if you remove tactical combat from King's Bounty, then it becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect.
Soon. When we need the viewers, we'll get them with the hot tub stream. That's my overall plan.
More fun or realistic, but obviously
I'll get him. I'll get him next time.
So this is a tactical game with a lot of role-playing aspects and high fantasy aspects, and not the other way.
I can't believe they've made this like the most.
Gamers who like RPG with shooting elements, games like Cyberpunk. This King's Bounty is probably not for them. I'm sorry, just
don't mention no one likes Cyberpunk. Why did you mention Cyberpunk?
Kind of this new 3D world that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive. Who even likes Cyberpunk? What was actually the hardest part of you making the game? What took the longest time? What kind of caused you the most
headaches? That's a big oof.
Hard to say. First of all, this multiple platform.
Come on, man.
So there are specific technical issues that.
Are you serious?
If you make just, let's say, a PC title or just a PlayStation game, then
if you get a chance,
you are having a headache of porting to different
CW interview with Mike Fitzgerald from Insomnia. Watch it. I will. I'll check it out. Little Shoe game.
The production itself, as soon as we went away from this kind of cartoonish.
I feel like I'm being tortured. I'm with you. Like, this is legitimately. I'm just gonna turn it down. We'll just watch the chat because we've got 7 minutes until IGN starts, and then once IGN's done, we'll go. I'll go and get ready for the. I'll go get ready. I'll go get ready for Ratchet and Clank. But my God. This is very painful. Like, just... And that chat's moving at a mile a minute. I don't know how you... Who's liking it? The likes are still just about beating the dislikes, which is interesting. It says a lot about the people watching.
No, absolutely. And then the final question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global...
Oh, right, yeah, I saw the quote about Ratchet just being the tip of the iceberg. Which is super interesting. I'm having too much fun. It's more fun in the chat. That's what the chat's meant to be at any time, you know? I can't believe I was like, oh yeah, let's not.
Drawing this amazing sketch of a dragon is only.
He's just waffling on about a dragon and all this other stuff.
Just support. From production people,
and IGN's just showing off like loadouts for
manufacturing.
What is this?
Unions.
What even is this?
All this,
what is going on?
Shops, in the world, making mass market communications.
What is going on?
So we decided to cooperate.
Soap moment. We don't care.
The ideal partner. So we are on the market for many years, and
this is crazy.
I would say
what time did I schedule Ratchet for as well? Let me check.
Scared if we do it just ourselves, that we might not have the human resources to deliver.
Ratchet is scheduled for 10 o'clock. That should work out. That should work out. All right, everything is in place.
Effectively, as in a co-production and co-publishing with
Ratchet and Clank crashed my PS5 on performance mode. Whoa.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Hope that doesn't happen.
And I cannot wait for people to get their hands on King's Bounty too.
Oh, me too.
The devs are passionate about this, but the interviews are long. So long. This isn't a prime time. Like, you got to think, this is prime time Friday evening for a lot of people in Europe, right? This doesn't have that prime time feel to it at all.
It's like picking between a favorite child. However, this next title speaks to me on a gaming level. Unlike any other.
Squidward.
This third-person action-adventure shooter.
Why does this have likes?
Will keep you up at night, tossing and turning with it.
Feel sorry for the devs, done more harm than good. Yeah, I mean, get the best soundbite from the dev, take this woman out, show us some gameplay footage, edit together the best soundbites from each dev, make it no longer than a total of 6 minutes tops per each feature.
Because you get a world-exclusive look at Scars Above.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Like, what is this? What is this? Another world premiere?
Telemetry check.
Telemetry check. Here go.
I can't even get, like, excited about the game because I know that they're gonna give us
How is this possible?
a good, like, 20 minutes of someone boring talking straight after it.
How did I end up?
And I'm gonna forget the footage that I've seen. And we're just gonna be lost. Like, this looks alright. This looks pretty cool.
The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction.
Okay, no, it doesn't look great. Do you see her walking through this water? I guess maybe this is alpha.
The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere.
Okay.
Mira. It's still intact.
We got a gun. I can't tell if she's running or walking. Yeah, she can't either. Yeah, this is definite alpha footage right here.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, it's all not very good, is it? It's just not very good.
Log entry. The creature has multiple salivary glands in its thoracic region that seem to produce a highly venomous secretion.
That's the carbine from Returnal? It is! It is! Gunplay doesn't look too bad. No, it doesn't.
Wow. The whole place is covered with some kind of organic residue. Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar.
It's just, very, very, very early stages, this looks like. You know? Doesn't look bad, just, you can tell it's not there yet. Looks like another version of Returnal. It does. It does.
This will help me get through that tissue webbing. And I'm taking the MPU.
And I'm taking the MPU. That's cool. This is the best thing we've seen so far.
The architects of this place, did they build these towering monuments to serve a purpose, or as a testament to their might? Were they looking for answers or solving a problem?
Again, though, you'd just be pissed. Like, you're working on this game, then Returnal comes out, and you're like, God damn it! God damn it! That's what we were trying to make! Oh, look out. Battle roll confirmed. She does look like Lara Croft. It's a stone gorilla, look at it. Yeah, look, he did the gorilla thing. I don't know how fire against an earth type's really gonna work out. You never played Pokemon before?
This thing was huge.
This is, I tell you what, Microsoft will buy this game. Microsoft will throw this out on the Game Pass quicker than you can even imagine. We're gonna move over to IGN in just a second. I'm just gonna let this play out, and then we're gonna go over to IGN. I mean, it looks alright. Like, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at this. But it just, like, they're showing us so much, and it's like,
With the fluid that's freezing the water.
they just need to really, really, really get everything working together. It just doesn't look like it all works together at the moment, and that's a big problem. It's so disjointed, you know?
Seems to be generating an electrical charge.
But there's some cool elements in here.
This neural pathway is conducting large amounts of bioelectricity.
Like, some decent elements.
This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water.
That's some 2004 shooting mechanics. Yeah, it kind of does. Futura Lance, welcome. Locally hated, good to have you back, man. Gary, how you doing? There's something here, you know. There's definitely something here, but it just. If you told me one person made this in Unity or Unreal, I'd go, yeah, they probably did. You know? And even then, I've seen better works from people that's just been made on its own. But it doesn't look... Like, if they pull this all together... Basically, if they can do enough of this as a proof of concept and then get a bit more of a team behind it or whatever they need to pull it together, then it'll be a lot better. You know? But at the moment, it does just look janky, disjointed, all of that stuff. That's that. GameSpot, fuck you for hosting this. We're going to get into IGN right here.
Games!
And instantly, this seems to have more...
Boxing giants are about to step into the ring tonight.
This has more character off the bat. And we got a boxing game confirmed? Is it a Creed boxing game? I think it is. Okay, we got a Rocky boxing game. Bubba Lang confirmed.
I defeat all men.
Ivan Drago confirmed. His son confirmed.
Ready to feel the beat? Didn't take a single hit.
We got a Rocky boxer. I'm okay with that. Big Rumble Creed Champions Boxing. Terrible name. But you know what? Cool. Cool. At least that looks fun.
The position of the inkwell indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple.
This is the Sherlock game.
A goodbye letter was written while the victim's glasses were left untouched upon the nightstand. Who would want their final words to appear crooked? Traces of a long dress. Is a crime disguised as suicide. The maid? No. I have it. They belong to the priest who wanted to retain ownership of the land for his presbytery. The first case on this island is closed.
That's incredible, Sherlock. You always impress me. Well, did you really think that you could come to this island without getting a little dirty? That investigation was easy, but this personal mission that brought you here, you know it's nothing but pain and madness.
Is Watson dead, or is this his brother? This in his mind.
But once the truth is revealed, will it help? Watch your step, Sherlock. This quest might soil more than your shoes. You're not ready for this investigation.
Violet Holmes, his mother? It seems like Watson's like a figment of his imagination in this. I'll play this. I'll play the hell out of this. I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, but it could be Mycroft in his head as well. It seems like it. What's this, Runecraft? Oh no! Do you live on that thing? That's so funny. We saw a world builder game that's on a traveling thing yesterday, on a traveling monster, and that one's on a moving machine as well. That's pretty cool. You think it's his dad in his head? His dad's never really much of the story. Like, it would most likely be Watson or Mycroft. And it would make sense if one of them had died and he's turned back to the drugs a little bit. And so he's seeing the figment of his imagination version with him along the way. In which case it would make more sense that it's Watson, because Mycroft and him never really see eye to eye a lot of the time. Well, we are on a traveling spaceball. That's very, very true. Doki Doki. The literature club. I'm in.
Woo, man, I gotta tell y'all, what a block of awesome that was. I'm so excited for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, especially as a man living in the middle of a pandemic. You know, I wouldn't mind having Monica in my reality these days, and I know I'm not alone. Actually, I am alone, which is why I want a video game character to come keep me company. I am excited for that one. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Well, that Sherlock Holmes game looks pretty cool, and also as a man and living in the post-pandemic, I'd sure love to have a platonic business relationship with Watson to solve crimes and such, and hold hands. But let's keep this train going by tossing it to the developers over at Gearbox for a breakdown of the Wonderlands trailer. This new game is set in the Borderlands universe.
Yes, we saw this. We saw this yesterday.
Tina's tabletop adventures. Let's take a look at Wonderlands.
Roll for initiative, suckers!
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Cox and I'm the creative director of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm thrilled to be able to go through this trailer with you today. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an entirely new adventure.
See, so they just got the dev to break down the game,
that's full
you know?
of whimsy and wonder and high-powered weapons, packed with fresh gameplay ideas, irreverent humor, a crazy story-driven adventure, and repeatable endgame content that you can enjoy with friends in co-op up to 4 players.
You cannot hide from fate.
So on your quest to defeat our main villain, the Dragon Lord, you're going to fight a variety of monsters, from shambling skeletons to, like this, sharks with legs. So designing for this chaotic brand of fantasy lets us run
put street
wild
sharks
with our
in it?
imagination. So you can expect some slightly warped takes on high fantasy.
They put street sharks in the game.
The awesome Gabe Kunda voices the mysterious figure that you hear in this trailer. Now, he's not the protagonist. Players can actually create and customize their own multi-class heroes in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Players won't literally customize their weapons, but you will collect a wide variety of loot and a wide variety of rarities. So you have guns, spells, melee weapons, and of course you'll have your skills that you can use, and then you'll be able to find loot like armor and amulets and more. Spells are a big part of our combat loop, and while it's true we do not have grenades in this game, we actually like to think of our spells more as mini skills because of their power and their variety of behaviors. Our cast is incredible. We have the headstrong Captain Valentine, the rule-obsessed robot Fret, and of course our tyrant villain Dragon Lord, and Tiny
Will
Tina,
Arnett is the villain?
and they're all brought to life by these great actors. And of course,
That's
enter
cool.
a magical diamond binacorn leaping in to save the day here. This speaks to the wild and irreverent humor in Tiny
Hey.
Tina's Wonderlands. Now, all of this takes place in a game within a game as players experience a round of bunkers and badasses, a chaotic fantasy tabletop adventure where anything can happen. The very unpredictable Tiny Tina makes the rules, she changes the world on the fly, and guides players on their epic fantasy journey. Now, a lot of the tone and humor in this story springs from this chaos. This takes place shortly after Assault on Dragon Keep, But if you don't know what that means, that's okay, because this is a brand new adventure in a brand new world in the mind of Tiny Tina, playing bunkers and badasses. We absolutely love
So it's
Tina
like their
and the
version of
crazy world that we're
Dungeons and
creating,
Dragons,
and it's
which
been
is
an
also
absolute
awesome.
joy working on this game. So we're very
Tiny
excited
Tina
for
as
everyone
the
to share
Dungeon
in this
Master.
experience when it launches next year.
And that's how you present a game, everybody. That's how you do it.
I think it should go without saying that Wonderlands looks wonderful. There, I said it, and I don't care who hears me say something so brave yet so controversial. Anyway,
Don't just quote the GOAT. Don't you dare quote Eric Andre like that.
So don't go
after
anywhere.
such a terrible
Don't.
joke.
That's a threat. It's not a threat. I mean, it's just mildly nicely asking you don't go anywhere. But don't go anywhere. I have scissors, and I'll make a beautiful, beautiful card for you that says "Don't go anywhere." We'll be right back.
Do you want to just cut the cord on your mic right there, please?
IGN Summer
Jesus,
of Gaming
man.
2021 is presented by the Amazon original movie.
He wrote that bit out and was like, "This is gonna pop.
Prime Video July 2nd. And
This is gonna
powered by
slay
Duracell Optimal,
at the IGN
the official
Expo. This is
battery
gonna
sponsor of
absolutely
Summer
knock
Gaming
them.
2021.
They're gonna fall
And
back in their
presented by
seats."
USAA Insurance and Army National Guard.
Oh, good to see the
Pursue
Army
multiple
getting
paths
involved.
while you serve.
Good to
Reach
see
your
the
greatest
Army getting
potential
involved
with
in
Army
gaming.
National Guard.
Love a bit of propaganda thrown in there. Hey guys, you good at sniping in games? Would you like to go overseas and snipe people in real life? Sign up to the Army!
Team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never before seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered.
IGN advertising IGN on an IGN stream?
Worldwide.
That's such an IGN thing to do.
Of their favorite game. But what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those games as they watch their hard work get completely destroyed right in front of them?
What is happening right now?
That's exactly what happens on every episode of Devs React to Speedruns. We invite you to ride along with the developers.
They
as
literally
watch,
are. They're
react,
advertising
and
their
enjoy some of
content
the
on the channel
craziest
that the
gameplay by
content
most
comes
skilled
out,
speedrunners on the planet.
knowing that nearly
Tune in
everyone
every
watching
Saturday
this will
for a
know
brand
exactly
new
what
episode.
IGN do already. That is narcissism at its absolute finest, I believe. On an IGN server, exactly. Like this wasn't needed. This was not needed at all. Hey, you're watching IGN. Why not watch more IGN over at IGN.com?
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting
Oh my
commentary,
god.
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movies.
It's not even just one advert.
That matters most to you.
It's a
Make
whole
sure to
bunch
catch the
of
Fix Entertainment
adverts
on
for
your
IGN
Fix of Entertainment.
formats.
Let's drop it.
Welcome back to IGN Summer of Gaming Expo. I'm glad you stuck around and I didn't have to use these scissors. Time to get rid of them.
Give me that, man. You don't need those. Give them to me. What are you doing with these?
Anyway, let's check out some more trailers. Any guess on what we might see now, Akeem?
Well, you know what, Brad? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say exclusive gameplay trailers with a dash, just a dash of DLC. I want to see some DLC.
Wild guess. Well, let's DLC what we got.
Oh.
It hurt me. It hurt me to say it. It could physically hurt to say that joke. Physically. I need the scissors back.
Oh. Hey, Sifu, let's go. Did I expect them to promote someone else? I just expected them not to run an IGN advert on a stream that we're clearly watching on IGN. Is it? I didn't expect them to promote themselves to that degree when you've got the IGN logo in the corner and the YouTube channel you're watching on is IGN. The combat in this game looks so fun. Like such a vast array of great combos. Is that all we're getting from Sifu today? We get a Lego advert? Memories, man. Memories. So much memories. Oh, what? How? What am I seeing here? This ain't like the Lego I had when I grew up. I guess this is the Lego I had when I grew up, because now I'm old. I don't remember being able to 3D scan my Lego. What is this? It's a Steam game? What? There was nothing to do with Lego in the end. It was a Steam game.
As successful as him. Well, I'll tell you, kiddo. You gotta come to Redlandia, the place of opportunity. Where even the ice cream's dreams of hitting the big time. You see these guys?
Serious Adventure Time vibes from this. I like it.
Happen in the streets, and oh, the streets, kid. Forget paved with gold. Here, there's nothing but miles of the smoothest concrete.
I think they did.
Everywhere. Makes you want to grab your board and hold on. You can skate, right? Whatever. You pick it up or not. Look, it's fine. Your skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover. It's time to shine, my humanoid friend. Let's roll.
Hey. Sick. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board.
OlliOlli World.
OlliOlli World. Adventure Time skating.
Yeah, baby hopper. Big deals on tiny wheels. You need a board?
I like that.
Battery for that? Hello.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's just fun. It's just mindless fun.
You're hearing my voice because we have reached a crossroads in this war. We know now that no miracle is coming.
This is the day after tomorrow?
Surviving is a slow
whoa. Is the day's gone too?
That we will not win by holding our ground.
Should have known it was coming out.
Our ranks have grown. Our skills have sharpened. And our weapons are loaded. We have initiated a new strategy in Kamchatka.
Our forces are prepared to take back Rome.
New World War Z.
There will be no retreat. Today we claw back from the brink. Today we make a stand.
World War Z Aftermath. Okay.
Welcome back to IGN Expo! Yes, now you all just got a sneak peek of Sifu and World War Z Aftermath, among others. Now, I can ramble all day about how great those reveals were, but you know, why ramble when we got Bramble? Now, this upcoming game from Dim Frost Studio promises to take you deep within the dark and mysterious world of folklore. Let's take a look at Bramble the Mountain King.
Hey, thank you, Jeffrey, man. No worries at all. Thank you for the donation. It's been nice just kicking it with the family, checking out a whole bunch of new games. I found, like, my list, I've not got good handwriting, but I've got a good list of potential games to play throughout the year that we can stream and such. So the donation was appreciated. It will go straight on the game, so thank you very, very much. But still, it's like the indie games keep winning more than anything, which is crazy. We still got Ratchet and Clank coming up at 10 o'clock as well. That's like half an hour away. I'll probably run to the toilet while this is still on, just so I'm ready to get into Ratchet and Clank with no breaks. Like, what they lack in, like, oh my god, Attack on Titan? The fuck? Bramble. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Like, they just look like interesting, even if they're just like one stream or a couple streams. They look interesting to test out and see what's going on with, you know? Wishlist now, so it's a Steam game. Looks like it's got the Epic logo. Maybe it's an Epic Store game.
I gotta say, Brian, Bramble, that was something. I'm all in on this one. You can definitely, from now on, call me a brambling man.
Yeah.
I'm in Bramble.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the game looks really awesome. I just feel like you're really excited about the repeated stabbing thing. That seems like you're honing in on that.
Says Mr. I'll stab you with the scissors.
Awesome. It's got everything that you want in a solid video game. I thought it was really awesome. I'm really excited for it, Brian. Just tell what do we have next? Because I'm super excited, man. If Bramble was this damn good, we got to have something else coming up next that's just as equally, if not better.
Well, you know, whatever's up next, I think maybe we should pivot and have something with like considerably less chest stabbing. Maybe something like a little bit more chill. You know, something kind of relaxing.
So you mean like, how about this? How about like skating with birds, like skatebirds, skateboarding birds?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very, very specific, but that would be super chill. Yeah, let's do it. Skating birds, great.
Well, then you know what, Brian? I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna love this next game. Here comes skateboarding birds in SkateBird. Let's check it out.
SkateBird.
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 SkateBird. So we've had 2 skateboarding games thrown in. I just want to see Skate 4. I feel like skating as a bird's cheating because you can just fly. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, you flap your feathers, buddy. Oh, what, did Donkey play this? I watched Donkey play this all day. SkateBird. Okay.
Wow, what a day. Well, that's all the time we have here on IGN Expo.
Wait,
I want to thank my hairstylist. I want to thank my...
Brian, hold on. Wait, are you insane, man? We're only halfway through. What are you doing?
Oh, wow. Well, this event is stacked with even more exclusive reveals and brand new trailers than I could have reasonably anticipated.
Clearly. And
cool black
very
guy
well
and
said,
awkward
my
black
friend.
guy.
And we'll be right back with even more right after this break. So stick around and keep being part of our Summer of Gaming.
That's right. And I want to thank my agent. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank my uncle who.
Right, I'm going to run toilet now. I'll leave
real.
you guys in
That
a
made me
capable
mad when I was
hand.
a kid, but I'm okay with it now. It only took about 60 years to get cool with that.
Great call there, Angel, as well. Great call.
IGN Summer of Gaming is powered by Duracell Optimum. All summer long, we're bringing you the game announcements, developer interviews, and all the demos you care about. So get comfortable and get ready to play. Upgrade your Xbox controller with Duracell Optimum batteries today.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and...
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
What's up, everyone? Sydney here to bring you a little update about the future of IGN on YouTube. We've been listening to your feedback, and it seems like some of you are more into games, while others are more interested in movies and TV. So we got to thinking about it and decided, why not both? Our main channel will still bring you all the biggest news, reviews, previews, and trailers to keep you up to speed on the most important highlights. But if you only want games content 24/7, head over to IGN Games. Movies and TV more your thing? Check out IGN Movies and TV. More channels, more of the stuff you love, more IGN.
I want to thank DuckTales. I want to thank Anthony Franco's Pizzeria in Paramus, New Jersey. Really good, really garlic knots, really, is what a lot
Yes, that's right, Brian. Well, you know what? Welcome back. This is still the Summer of Gaming, and you found yourselves knee-deep in IGN Expo. Yes, we are jam-packed with some of the most unique games you'll see first right here on IGN.
Speaking of which, you know what I miss most during quarantine? Helping and moving friends. I just really love unpacking heavy crap and lifting it up in the air. And if you're a weirdo like me, then you probably get the sheer joy of games like Power Wash Simulator and Teardown. Well, keep an eye out in our next set of trailers for Unpacking, probably the best unpacking simulator made to date.
Sure, yeah. You know, there's also like a bunch of other trailers in there too, Brian.
I think they're going to be most excited about the Unpacking one, though.
Okay, you know, well, fine. Well, let's unpack all the trailers, not just the Unpacking one, right now.
These boys. Perfectly balanced. Photo mode confirmed. They are indeed chocolate fingers, man. Good old chocolate fingers. The orange edition as well. Saw this yesterday.
Welcome to a very quick sneak peek look at 2 Point Campus.
If you're not familiar with 2 Point games, think fun simulation management with a very particular 2 Point twist.
I love
In
thinking
Campus,
of
you'll
doing
get to
work.
design and run your very own university.
But rather than boring courses, we're giving you the opportunity to teach your students very unusual classes, like night school.
In this one, you'll be teaching
Literal
students
night
heraldry,
school.
chivalry, jousting, and how to walk around in that really heavy armor.
Here we're building the training area for our prospective knights. We watched a ton of live streams of 2 Point Hospital, saw what people were vibing with, and we've added a ton of new creative tools for campus that will let you build outside, create new buildings, landscape, and place trees and pathways.
Chocolate fingers, we're all
Here
on
you
the
can
same
see
vibe.
some of our night
I
school
like
students
it.
warming up with some practice dummies. If they can nail their classes, they'll get themselves straight A's. But if they don't have everything they need, great teachers, great equipment, and of course a great social life, they may fail.
It's just a super quick peek, but that's just a taste of what's to come in 2 Point Campus, which is out in 2022. If you sign up on our website at 2pointcampus.com, you can get yourself a free in-game item when the game launches. Lovely.
Lovely. Bloody lovely. Oh shit! Game of the year. Street Fighter 2? Yeah. Yeah. Nostalgia. Absolute nostalgia hits. Hadouken! That Turtles game, by the way, is even more of a nostalgia hit. That Turtles game was crazy. I used to play that in the arcade.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Golden years indeed.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are? I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule.
Some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do.
Are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
I mean, they've already got 3 million downloads. Why do they need any more?
Know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them. Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
The Forgotten City. Yeah, 2022 is looking good. Looking very, very good. This looks cool. Alright. The Forgotten City. I was trying to remember what it was. I just said it aloud.
Between two worlds, yet part of none. It's your fate to free Never.
The Forgotten City. It's just a Diablo-styled game. A little bit.
Disciples' Liberation brings tactical turn-based battles into a dark fantasy strategy RPG. Find your place in a world of endless raging war between.
Is this a turn-based dungeon crawler? 80-hour game?
Use your legacy to battle your foes, find loyal companions, and form a powerful army.
80-hour game confirmed. Could be the Nephilim giant race.
Are what define us.
Baldur's Gate. I want to be that thing. No, I want to be that thing. It's a turn-based dungeon crawler.
Seize your destiny.
And that's new.
The land of Nevendar. Disciples Liberation.
Disciples Liberation.
Coming soon to your PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
You just saw the trailers for Unpacking, Disciples Liberation, Unpacking, and before that was The Forgotten City, and also Unpacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpacking there. Now, Brian, you might remember our next game made waves when it was first announced 3 years ago, but we haven't heard a ton from the team lately. Now, with that said, the little fox who stars in this Zelda-ish indie title still looks just as cute.
Akeem, I am so excited about this one. Let's check in with Tunic.
Oh, we heard about this as well the other day. This was
Tunic
in...
has been a darling of the gaming scene for several years now.
This is the one where he's like, you may find a stick, you may find a sword.
It's been quite a while since we first saw it, and it's still not out yet. The same demo has been making the rounds for many moons, but one-man developer Andrew Schuldeis's absolutely adorable fox and his Zelda-like adventure is finally almost ready, and we got an exclusive hands-on with the all-new E3 2021 demo that's coming to your Xbox on June 15th. Here are 5 reasons why this charming fox needs to be on your radar. Tunic's old demo.
They've just thrown in an IGN video into this.
The combat can get.
This could have been an upload.
Demo, which includes a slice
it will be an
of the
upload.
overworld as well as one dungeon. You'll encounter a number of different enemies after you find, in order, a stick, a sword, and then a shield. From simple blobs to laser turrets to a giant bone monster that, try as I might with every power-up I could find in the demo, like ice bombs and sticks of dynamite, I could not bring down.
Sounds like me.
I presume I'll be more powerful later on in the full game to come back and conquer it, but the demo makes it clear that there are going to be places that you probably shouldn't go yet, no matter how tempted you are to get through the doors the toughest creatures are guarding. Speaking of which, who the heck is this fox? What is going on in this world? What does the in-game language mean, and will I ever be able to translate it?
Looks like
and why
hieroglyphics.
are there help screens in the world modeled after old-school video game instruction manuals and strategy guides? I love the added sense of mystery and intrigue that Tunic
My
brings
wife
that it
calls me the
absolutely
bone
doesn't need
monster.
to. The gameplay would be just as fun and the presentation
Yeah.
just as compelling without them, but they're there, and they make me want to play more to uncover the answers to those questions. Like any good Zelda-style game, there are secrets hiding all over the place if you look carefully enough. Schuldeis very politely requested that I not spoil any of them for you before you have a chance to play the demo for yourself, so I'll just say this. Put yourself in a Zelda mindset, and you'll probably have some good ideas of where to look. Schuldeis told me that there are 6 secret items hidden in the demo, which means there are certainly plenty more to discover in the full game as well. On this note, the new demo makes it pretty clear that you will not be completing Tunic in just one sitting. The one dungeon here has plenty of layers to it, and while you can save your progress at various shrines, doing so resets all the monsters. So there will be a constant tug of war between taking risks to progress and playing it safe. I do appreciate how there are environmental shortcuts that open up as you go, meaning that if you die, and believe me, you will die, respawning at the last save point means you won't have to walk as far or fight through everything all over again in order to get where you're going. But this world is clearly a big one, just like any Zelda-style game worth its salt. Finally, allow me to state the obvious. Tunic looks and sounds beautiful. The simplistic, colorful visuals lend Tunic a very playful visual tone, while the serene music adds a very pleasant, calming vibe to the gameplay.
It does look chill.
The combination of the two is fantastic. Tunic blends retro and modern in both the audio and visual departments in a way that gives it a wholly unique look and feel. I absolutely love it. And with that, I wholeheartedly recommend you play the Xbox demo yourself on June 15th, and after you do, I have little doubt that Tunic will not only ping on your upcoming game radar, but rocket up towards the top of your wish list in the process. While Shouldice still hasn't given a concrete release date for Tunic, there's more reason than ever to believe that 2021 is finally the year. For more on Tunic, don't miss more gameplay from the old demo, and for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
That's an IGN video right there.
IGN Expo is just reaching its peak, so don't go anywhere. Right now, we've got 6 fresh trailers loaded up like a blast cartridges in a laser pistol aimed at the heart of your boredom. Because I know y'all get bored. Yeah.
Wow, they just shoot a laser pistol at the heart of boredom. That's an apt metaphor, Keem. It's also really dark and slightly messed up. Anyway, our first trailer involves a show I know everyone loves, Saint Ranger Things. Following the adventures of Saint Ranger, the only Texas Ranger to ever be sainted.
Well, Brian, actually, I'm gonna have to poke a couple of holes in your cloud here, my boy. It actually, that's a typo. It says Stranger Things.
Oh no, that's not a typo. I just can't read. Well, anyway, let's see what the Stranger Things or Saint Ranger Things team are doing in the world of Smite. Or Smitty.
We've seen this. You're the only guy I found streaming Summer Game Fest? Well, I am an official co-streamer for the Summer Game Fest. Actually am. They gave me approval to co-stream it, so I appreciate that. Also says a lot if I'm the only one streaming it. But it's been fun so far. Yesterday was really good. Day of the Devs was really good. Elden Scroll reveal was great. Elden Ring, not Elden Scroll. Jesus, man. You can tell I didn't go to sleep until like the early hours of the morning and then woke up early to get work done. I'm frazzled, man. I'm frazzled. I've done like 5 or 6 streams in the past few days, like two days. My brain is broken. But we're still here. It's nice that a lot of this is we just watch and react, because if I was playing games this entire time, I would be burnt out. This looks like a fake Halo. Elden Scroll. This looks like a Destiny Portal game. Splitgate? Is that what it's called? I don't feel like we needed a trailer for this. It's free for everyone, because the fan base is dying. Free now, because... Oh shit, here we go. There's that Zangief ripoff, dude. Streets of Rage 4. Did they just rip off Zangief for Streets of Rage 4? They just threw in a Zangief guy? That's interesting. But to my knowledge, most of these games are out already. It was always free? Ah. we got another Stardew Valley game. But this time it's underground. Even though you can go into the caves. Stardew Valley itself. Koch Keeper. Out soon. What if the cave element of Stardew Valley was the entire game? Like... Here, this is what I'm talking about. Medieval farmyard. That's what I'm talking about, bro. What's that? Game hackers? Incluminati? I think that's Incluminati. That was very hard to read. There's a reason we don't write language out like that anymore. Oh shit! Battle of the Bands, the card game. Audio Clash, Battle of the Bands. Nice.
Woo, now that was the new game, Battle of the Bands. Now, I can't wait for that one. That's actually being produced in part by The Living Tombstone, and we've got an exclusive music video from those guys you can check out over on IGN's YouTube channel.
Oh, thank God, I thought they were going to say right now.
If IGN Expo were a Battle of the Bands, this would be the brief window between when each band plays and you can go buy an overpriced drink and use the bathroom and make a pee-pee.
You know what? Fortunately, you can still watch ads in the bathroom from your phone or your laptops. So take it to the toilet, y'all. Summer of gaming continues after this quick break.
Don't take your laptop to the toilet, y'all. Don't listen to Akeem. Don't do that. That's weird. Come on. What, like, how important is your job? You're going to bring your laptop to the toilet? Come on. What do you work?
It's eBay. I'm trying to win something on eBay. It's an auction. Come on now. I'm trying to get a new NFT.
What are you trying to win the auction for, grossest dude? Because you already won. Haha. Catch.
Hey, Photo Lomaka. How's it going, man?
Is presented by
How you doing?
USAA Insurance and Army National
We don't
Guard.
need an ad break. The show's almost over. I'm about to go stream some Ratchet and Clank in a second.
And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd. And powered
I love it
by
when companies hire these quirky people because they never hit the mark as much as they think they're going to. It's always hilarious.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay.
I'll be honest with you, IGN. I don't like having IGN just fucking rammed down my throat at any opportunity. How about that?
Memes.
How about that?
And a whole lot more.
How about that?
Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Why does everyone hate Israel? I mean, that's too much of a complex question to get into when we're just enjoying the IGN Expo. And I don't think it has any simple answers. It's something that I wouldn't want to engage in passing as a discussion, but I don't think people actually hate the the people of Israel on the whole. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's just a super complex situation. But I don't feel like...
Watson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment.
We saw this already as well, this advert, but I don't feel like you should feel like the entire world hates you. I think it's a governmental issue that doesn't reflect on every single person in the country, just like no group of people represents any one complex issue. As simple as that, you know? But I'm sorry if you feel like that in any shape or form, like, because it fucking sucks to feel like people hate you for something that you probably have no involvement in, you know?
From the triumphs to the hardships to the miracle moments that will go down in history.
Did I need to tell you that
it's crazy. It's all here.
IGN is sponsored by IGN, featuring IGN? Invasive gaming news, IGN.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to
Exactly.
IGN Expo, part of IGN's Summer of Gaming.
A whole summer of gaming, and we're dishing up hot trailers and plenty of them. Barbecue, summertime, sand, the beach, kissing under the boardwalk. All the summer stuff you love and crave that I just made up. But coming up next, we've got trailers for a Metroidvania puzzle game, a classic murder mystery, and a game where you finally get to fight Louis XVI's robot army. I hate them.
That's insane, man. You know, and we got many more on top of all of that. I mean, these developers are really, really freaking creative.
Yeah,
Let's check 'em
exactly,
out.
Connor. As simple as that. Like, the government moves don't represent people's intentions a lot of the time, you know?
Woman we saw
Like,
playing in the woods. She has a crooked nose with a yucky wart. It's just the long grey hair that
but
makes her
as a
look
general
old.
rule, we
But
try
she's
not to
pretty
talk
young,
about
actually.
politics and things that
Black kitty.
reflect the
She built
outside world,
herself a
because this
shelter out of wood and pieces of old cloth. I think it was standing.
these streams overall are meant to be about, it's a place where you can escape and not worry about the reality of the world, because if we look at anything in the real world too much underneath a microscope, we tend to get sad, and that's not what this channel or these streams are about. It's about connecting with one another as gamers and just general people of the world without having to get bogged down with the actual discussion of what's going on outside of the bubble that we have created on this channel, you know?
Want to know if all of that was real.
I thought this show was going to be an hour long.
Even if it wasn't before.
You missed the best interviews earlier. The chat was lit.
Am I seeing things? Or did she have a hunting dog?
Looks alright, isn't it? That doesn't look too bad. Little creepy horror game. Bow and arrow horror game. I like it. Says it's complex and bangs it out in one go. It is super complex.
Sorrow resonates through the kingdoms. I can feel it in the air. A fermenting thirst for revenge.
We train. We fight.
Okay, game, you got my attention.
Power, limits. But what are yours when you have nothing to lose?
And so the sheep becomes the shepherd, culling them to this fool's paradise.
This looks like
What do you dream of becoming?
this is some Castlevania vibes.
The immortals of Kirish will stop at nothing to preserve their immortality.
You not mad at that one, Thomas? This looks cool.
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Fate is not so easily broken.
Continue to feed into this cycle of death. Your light doesn't deserve to fade just yet.
remember our deal, don't you?
Death's Gambit, Afterlife. You see the fat kitty? We got a world premiere. This is gonna do it. This is gonna be the last string because we got to get into Ratchet and Clank in a minute. And to be honest, this has been better than the Koch showing, the Koch Primetime, but they're still not showing us too much groundbreaking things in this, so I'm not mad at calling this early. I thought it was going to be an hour long. I can't see them pulling anything out of the bag that's going to be like, oh! Like, we were all excited to see Sifu up in this, and we got like all of about 2 minutes of Sifu with no explanation. So, you know. And to be honest, if I get another advert from IGN about watching IGN while I'm currently watching IGN, it's probably gonna blow my mind out. Or I'll blow my own mind out with a shotgun. So there's that as well. I don't know what this is, but it's really clean. I just feel like all of these events are so padded out with like with Steam games. You know, like just filled to the brim with Steam games. And I guess we underestimate how much PC does dominate the market in its own way. Oh, this is the first looking.
Left us no chance.
We're gonna call it here. This whatever happens, this is the last trailer. What's the chat saying? Whoops! Oh, I just threw my pen and it hit the thing.
The fighting was too one-sided. We were slaughtered.
People saying they're bored. People says this looks nice. Little mix.
Paris burns and is lost.
I like this. This is like Bloodborne looking. Kind of Bloodborne looking. Is this that Pinocchio type game we saw before? Steel Rising. That's going to do it for this evening. I've got 4 minutes until we start streaming Ratchet and Clank. I will put in the link for you guys right here just in case you want it. If anyone wants to just join me over on that stream, more than welcome to. Thank you all so much. It's going to be a rapid ending for me. It's going to be a rapid ending for me right here. Thank you all. I'll see you on the Ratchet and Clank stream. I really hope I do anyway. That's enough out of these guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
And Unbound Worlds Apart. You can actually play that last one, the demo, right now on your Nintendo Switch.